babes, booze, boobs, and blood mixed in with porn stars and pancakes, and you get this movie. We watched Lumberjack Man. We watched it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
What's up, Moon Goons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the show where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Marshall Hampton. My co-host, Aaron Southworth, could not be here today, but that's okay because I got me not one, but two sitting guests, all stars of the show, Mr. Chris and Miss Sarah Samples. Hello, you. Welcome. Thank you for coming back.
Thank
Marshall is
you.
pumped
We are
today.
pumped. We're pumped too.
Yes,
I'm
of
excited.
course I'm
I'm
pumped when
excited
you
to be
guys are
here.
around. You guys, it's always
It's been
fun.
a long time. It's been far too long.
It has been.
Yeah.
It's been very long time since we've had you guys on. But today's movie is, oh my gosh, you guys actually were the ones who kind of put me onto this movie. It was on my queue, like, oh, I'll get to eventually. But you guys said, have you seen this? You have to see this.
Right.
And it's led to this episode.
We just kind of stumbled across it. Like it's a fairly
It was
new
on-
release.
Yeah.
Yeah, we caught it on Showtime. I was
Yeah.
like, Marshall has to know about
I
this
know.
movie.
How did we not know?
Yeah. Speaking of which, it's actually before I get, it's just because there's so much boobs and sex in this movie. It just coincidentally that this happens to be our 69th episode as well.
Oh, hey.
So hey. But as you said, it is a new
Knew it
release.
was special.
Released on October 16th of 2015. It's part of the After Dark series of their 8 films to die for that year. For I guess 2 years ago at this point,
Yeah.
or last year. No, last year.
Right.
It's like I said, you find it on Showtime. You can find this movie in a lot of places. It's on Amazon, YouTube, Google Play, iTunes, and
Oh, wow.
Vudu. So you can
Cool.
find it everywhere. It does run long. It has an hour and 45-minute runtime. But now that sounds long. But in my opinion, it doesn't seem that long because I thought this movie paced itself pretty well.
Pretty good.
It did.
There's
There
not-
were some spots that probably could have been cut out completely. But
yeah,
But it was
Other
done
than
very
that-
I
well.
agree. But
Yeah.
overall, compared to some movies we've done, it
Oh,
doesn't
God, yeah.
seem
Oh,
that
yeah,
long.
yeah.
It's-
The dialogue was done well,
yeah.
even though at
Once the ball
lengthy
starts
at
rolling.
sometimes.
And there's
it
enough
rolls.
killings throughout that it
Oh,
kind
wow.
of keeps things
Yeah.
That's an understatement.
yeah. It was
No
written
spoilers.
by Josh Baer and Bill Mule, who are credited for the story, and then Ed Cunnell and Matt Etten who were screenplays and who wrote the screenplay and were also writing credits, and directed by Josh Baer as well. The cast is pretty interesting. First and foremost, the big star everybody's gonna know is Michael Madsen, stars in this movie as
Mr. Blonde.
Mr. Blonde, as Dr. Pete Shirtcliffe. Weird ass last name,
Shirtcliffe.
Some crazy-
Shirtcliffe.
That's
crazy
Shirt
names.
Cliff.
Yeah. And then a few other people like Sarah Flynn, who plays the main girl Faith. She's not really done much, but she's pretty solid in this. And then we
Real
have
solid.
the other people I'm going to mention is Brianna Placina, who plays Luann Potts. She is mostly a TV star. She's got 139 credits under her belt.
Oh, wow.
Mostly TV and animated movies, like a lot of voiceover stuff. Like she did The Walking Dead. She was Anna in the episode Indifference. So she was on episode. She did voice in the Dragon Age, Dawn of the Secret movie, Full Metal Alchemist, Dragon Ball Z, like all the Dragon Ball Z games and cartoons, Borderlands 2, Warcraft, and even the Walking Dead video game. So she's done a lot of voiceover work.
Okay.
After that, the other people I will know is for those diehard gamers out there, big gaming fans, you'll definitely recognize Adam Sessler in this movie who plays Doug. Now, he's the former host of the show X-Play on the old G4 network.
Oh, wow.
And he's kind of like a game, like a kind of a, I guess you call it like, I don't know if he's like the Bob Costas of the gaming world, but I mean, he's like,
Right.
he's somebody who's involved in gaming, like does a lot of interviews and,
No
and
kidding.
TV shows and stuff. Like so. And then the last two I'm going to mention are, of course, two of the 4 porn stars that are in this movie. Well, actresses, I should say.
I'm sorry.
First is Raven Rockette is in this movie. She's known for her adult movies as a girl only performer. But she was nominated for Best Female Performer by AVN, and she was nominated for the Fan Award of Best Boobs.
Huh.
So, yeah.
And which one was she?
Which one was she?
She is Kendra. She was one of the 2 cheerleaders.
Oh.
So, okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then the last one is Andy Sandemus. Now, that sounds like a guy, but as a girl, she plays Teresa. And her porn credits she's got 195 credits.
Wow.
And her porn resume is hilarious. I wouldn't care that much, but these are so funny. I just had to write these down. So sit tight and enjoy these because she's the porn parody queen apparently.
Nice.
Because she's done X-Men XXX, where she played Phoenix, Wolverine XXX, Jean Grey, Superman vs. Spider-Man XXX, This Ain't the Expendables, The Dark Knight XXX, Thor XXX, she played Sif, Rocky XXX. Anybody want to take a guess who she played in Rocky?
Adrian?
Adrian it is! Halloween XXX, the porn I didn't even know there was a porn of a Halloween movie. She plays Annie.
Surprised.
American Dad, the porn parody, she plays Haley. Supergirl XXX, she plays Natasha Luther. Prawn, which is the porn parody of Tron. Reservoir Dogs XXX, where she plays Mrs. White.
Oh, wow.
Justice League of Porn
Okay,
Stars.
it keeps going. This is great.
Superman XXX, The Simpsons XXX, where she plays Marge, Elvis XXX, WKRP in Cincinnati, which that's a weird ass one to make a porn parody of.
That is.
Welcome back, Cotter.
This Ain't Glee.
No. Oh, sorry.
No, that's way back.
Yeah.
Ignore
try,
that
though,
last
babe.
thing.
Nice try.
And then there's the last one I wrote down. This Ain't Glee XXX, and then this one that just one time was Kiss Me, Lick Me, Fuck Me was one of her movies.
Hey, now.
So yeah,
That's
I
a
was
bit
just
more
blown
normal.
away by all the parodies that she was in.
Wow.
Sorry that took up time I was born, but I just
No.
found it really interesting and funny. So let's jump into Lumberjack Man.
Ooh.
Oh God, this movie. Hang on to your butt.
You're right.
All right, so
We might need to drink some syrup before we start this.
the samples were nice enough to bring to our little studio a whole tray full of pancakes and a gallon thing of maple syrup.
It just seemed right.
Gotta have
Which, if
plenty
you
of syrup.
haven't
Yeah, we
seen
gotta
this
have
movie,
syrup.
it'd be explained why. You'll understand why as
We'll
we go
get
through.
there. We'll get there.
But the movie opens in like this old rustic rundown cabin where we see the main villain, the Lumberjack Man. Right away he's sharpening all his various instruments of death, and while he's making a giant barrel full of pancake batter.
Yeah, what is that flaky stuff in the jar? Like, he just takes these jars and starts putting weird powdery stuff
Yeah,
in there. I was
like-
like, is he making a bomb? Is this like a spell?
I know.
No.
Well, and the
No.
cabin itself is efficiently creepy too. Like,
Yeah.
right from the
Yeah.
jump, cobwebs everywhere, and
Like
the weird
skull head, like
ram.
Yeah.
a ram or deer head with
Yeah.
the
It was a
skull.
ram,
It's not even,
yeah.
just so. And that's it. And then we see him making pancakes on this giant griddle
Giant pancake.
as it fades away, and it takes us through the school bus filled with the camp counselors of Camp Good Friends Church Camp on their merry way to the summer camp to help get it up and running. And this is where we meet the main cast of characters. We meet Faith, the main girl. We have Danielle, who's kind of the alpha bitch of the group.
Yep.
And then we have Jacqueline, who's like the sweet, innocent, naive girl who quickly becomes friends with Faith, along with camp director Doug, who just kind of comes across as like the eternal virgin guy. He's like the gung-ho, hey guys, let's do it, yay!
Yay! He's the best.
With his bowl haircut.
Oh, God.
And his jar of marbles.
Let's see. We might as well go explain it. The marbles. It doesn't really come up, but he does go on about what's the?
Well, it's weird again because it never comes back around for anything. Because I mean, that's what I'm saying. Some of these parts were like a little drawn out, unnecessary information. But he's got this empty jar, and he's telling all the counselors that if every time they do something good, he'll put a marble in the jar, and the jar is full at the end of the week. Then they'll have a big pizza party, and he's all woohoo! And They could give two shits about a piece of pie.
And
They
then he's
don't
like,
care.
absolutely no masturbating.
Yes, he goes into the rules of camp. Number one rule is no masturbating, which of course everyone on the bus owes and like
And Jeff has a real funny, like Jeff's one of the counselors.
Yeah, Jeff's one of the
one of the
main
main
guys.
dudes. He's like, "What? Come on, I'm halfway through rubbing one out right now."
Yeah, there's a few good one-liners, and that's one of the better ones. And then the rule number 2 was no laughing like a liberated woman. So those appear the only 2 rules of camp.
Don't do it. No masturbation.
And from here we join with
So much
Dr.
blah, blah.
Peter Shirtcliff, who's getting out of his tiny little yellow smart car.
Fucking smart car.
He's Michael Madsen's big ass out.
Mr.
getting out of
Blonde
that-
is
getting
driving
out
a
of
fucking
car.
smart car. All right, I have issue right now.
And he gets out from the small town general store, and we see the school bus, drives by him, and 2 girls are flashing him their tits, which he quickly tries to take a picture of on his cell phone, which was kind of funny. And inside, he's talking to the store clerk, who tells Shirtcliff that the bus is headed out towards a church camp at Big Timber State Park. So Shirtcliff then buys, just boxes of ammunition. But on his way out, he does grab a box of J.T. Jepson's authentic lumberjack flapjack batter.
It's the best breakfast in a box money can buy.
Yes, thank you very much, Sarah. That is what the clerk tells him on the way out. And this becomes, and you don't think anything at first, but it becomes a big...
But it's weird and
thing
creepy.
later. Yeah.
It's
The
weird.
clerk tells him that, and then he pokes his head back in and says, "You don't know what breakfast is."
Yeah.
Like, Michael Madsen's so good in this movie, just as that dry kind of what he does.
He really
in
holds on to
general.
the character the whole
Yeah.
time. He really
He
does
has
it
so
home.
many quirky little
You
things to
don't know
say.
what
It's
breakfast
fucking
is.
ridiculous.
And then he just leaves
Yeah.
on that.
Just the best lines. He has
What the fuck does that
best
mean?
lines.
So we go back to the bus, which arrives at the camp, and everyone, kind of unloads, and Doug starts introducing the counselors to the camp cook, Reggie, who basically is just like a living version of Chef from
Well, let's
South
not-
Park.
Let's not wash over Leon, the bus driver.
Oh, we come back to Leon.
Oh, okay.
He has a big second. We come back to him. And we also meet the other senior counselor, Teresa. So
Hi, I'm Teresa.
So
pretty
Doug
good.
and Teresa
Thanks.
start breaking the
I watched
counselors off into groups, and they're saying, okay, you guys go do this. You guys start getting the camp ready for all the kids to come tomorrow, or was it tomorrow? I don't know, but I think it was tomorrow. So the first group, Kendra and Courtney, are like the 2 cheerleader friends. They're off to Jonah's fishing shed, and they're kind of supposed to be like the ditzy girls of the movie. They're kind of like the
Very much so.
very kind of dumbish girls. And then group 2 is Faith and Jacqueline. They're sent to the little beach volleyball court of Bethlehem. So you see you start seeing the Bible theme throughout all this.
Because it's fun under the sun, S-O-N.
So, I missed that one. Oh, goddamn. So, and then the third group we see is Jeff and Stanley, the 2 main guys. They're sent out to scoop shit out of the stables of Solomon.
And he warns them that they changed the oats for the horses, so there's
It's liquidy or watery or
the
something.
DMs may be a little soft.
Yeah.
The BMs. What is it, BMs? Bowel movement?
Yeah,
I'm
bowel
assuming?
movement, BMs. So, the guys, they ask the girls they want to smoke weed with them. They're like, no, we're too good. We don't do that. It's like, whatever. And now we go back to the bus driver. This is where you want to talk about. This is where you
Right.
meet up with Leon, the bus driver, who's just rocking out to his music, driving the bus back down the road.
I'm not sure if he's on meth or if he's on coke.
He is.
It's definitely coke.
Right.
Because we
fucked up.
see him snorting coke off the steering
Steering
wheel
wheel.
while he's driving
on
down
the
the
record.
road.
Dumping lines
put the
out
needle on
all
the
over the
record.
steering wheel. Yeah.
Freaking out.
So we see these 2 girls standing outside the room. They're dressed like super slutty. Like just
Who are they? Are they
These one of the other
prostitutes?
two porn
I
stars.
thought like why are there prostitutes like just on
Just
this
waiting.
country road like out in the middle
Yeah.
of
You're
nowhere.
in the middle of the woods.
But we never find out why they're there. But apparently they know Leon because they say, "What the fuck, Leon? You're late." So I guess he was obviously supposed to pick him
Assume
up.
they were
but-
hookers. But
yeah, I kind of think so too.
are these the other 2 porn stars that you were
These
talking
are the other 2 porn
Okay,
stars.
that makes sense.
Yeah, they're both played by porn stars. The names are
Unimportant.
they're
No.
not as important because
Probably
they're
not.
minor actresses. It doesn't matter. So, but they're like They immediately forgive Leon as soon as he starts flashing his little bag of coke and like, oh, all right, let's go.
What's he say too? He's like, "Oh, come on, ladies. Leon's hornier than a tomcat with 3 testicles or something." 3 nuts.
I missed it. I don't
He
know.
has coke all
like
over
that.
him.
Oh, yeah, I
He's
mean,
just, like
it's like-
covered in powder.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
And
so crazy.
So of course, the girl's like, "Fuck it, let's get on the bus," and off they go. Now, it cuts away and just immediately to them having a threesome on the bus, on the floor of the bus, mind you.
Right.
Leon's laying on the floor on his back.
Ugh.
One girl's riding him while the other girl's sitting on his face, and the girls are like just totally just
Phoning
not
it
into
in.
this
One
at
of
all.
them's doing her nails.
Yes.
The other one's like playing on her phone.
Exactly.
And they're like just passing the coke back and forth.
Yeah, and
you
they're
know?
like, yeah. Oh,
Do
that's
it,
it.
Leon.
That's so
Do
good.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing. Oh, Nikki Seven and Vanessa Veracruz. There you go.
Oh,
There's her
all
names.
right, all right.
Or the other girl. Now outside the bus, we see Lumberjack Man, and he starts walking towards the bus, and he's pulling behind this massive cart.
This is the first time we see it.
This first time you actually see the cart, but it turns out. Well, I'm not gonna. We'll say it now, but the cart turns out to be like this giant stove, like skillet on wheels that has a humongous stack of pancakes on.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like a humongous stack, like a million normal
Regular
sized pancakes.
pancakes?
No, like gigantic pancakes.
We're talking like a sewer drain, like a
Yeah.
sewer-
bigger than a
Yeah.
manhole cover.
Yeah,
I mean,
manhole
we're like
cover, yeah,
3
yeah.
to 4 feet diameter
Right.
pancakes
Yeah.
on these things.
Yeah.
He's
What's
using some
wrong?
pancake batter from like
Is that weird?
the 1900s too. We don't know how old this shit is. So.
I want 3-foot pancakes.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I'm sure that would make a hell of like a.
Kind of reminded me of Uncle
Uncle
Buck.
Buck. Oh,
go.
that's why we're married. That's it. It's a comedy.
So the Lumberjack Man, he enters the bus through the back door, the rear escape door. The blonde girl who has his back to him is like, "Did you hear something?" And the other girl's
Hear
like,
something?
"Oh,
Seriously?
you're just on the drugs, make you paranoid again, whatever." And
You're only on a school bus. Like, you don't notice that?
yeah,
What?
first of all, I call
Right.
bullshit on the fact that every school bus I've ever been on, anytime you open that damn back door, you get that loud
alarm
ass
goes
annoying
off.
alarm, and there's no alarm on this bus, so I
Yep.
call bullshit right away.
Leon must have figured out how to fucking cut that shit out.
Cut that wire.
He's smarter than we thought.
Yeah, so the lumberjack, he approaches the girls, raises his axe, and the girl on her phone looks up just in time to say, "Oh, fuck." And then it cuts to the outside of the bus where we see the heads of each girl come flying out and crashing through the side windows of the
pretty
bus,
good.
one head on each side.
Oh, man.
So just out the side.
Motherfucker's
Pretty good. One swing of the axe, too. Bam.
Again, it looks awesome, but I still call that's
Well, yeah.
physically impossible.
Yeah.
True.
Physics would not ever allow that to happen.
True.
No, but it was fun.
But
It
it was
does
pretty
look-
funny because it was a good effect too. Because
Great
you
effect.
get back inside the bus, girls are they're naked and there's blood gushing down, their heads are gone, and then Leon's like, "Stay alive, ladies! Stay alive, ladies!" And he's like,
He's
trying to dig
underneath them. He don't know
Yeah, he's
what's
like
going on.
underneath, he's still going to town.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Lumberjack Man is like, he's standing over Leon. Leon kind of looks at him like, "Oh shit." But look, I want to talk about this mask the Lumberjack wears for a second, because at first it looks
yeah.
it makes him look like he's a tree demon. Like he looks like
Yeah.
his face is like
Right.
tree bark.
Yeah.
With
Yep.
like one red glowing eye. It's really a weird choice.
I think
not
both his
that
eyes are glowing
scary.
red.
I think so, but the hair or something just covers
Yeah,
the one
right,
you can't
right.
really see.
Yeah, it does look. That's the best way to explain it. Is that tree bark that he's turned into? Imagine like a Jason mask,
Yeah.
but tree bark. That's
It doesn't make him that scary of a like once you really get to see it, because we really get to see him a lot better, I think, in like the scenes coming up.
Yeah, yeah.
It just like once I finally saw him, I was like, oh, well, that's kind of
the glowing red
Glowing
eyes.
eyes,
He's like
that is-
7 foot tall. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's just this
Eh.
big lumbering dude that's carrying
not
a
like
mass
Michael-
arsenal of weapons
Michael
on
Myers
him.
or anything.
In the opening credits, you see him just like putting axes.
He got like axes and
hatchets
spears.
and
Yeah, he's
all
loaded
kinds-
up.
He's loaded down.
Yeah.
The face kind of takes away from it for me.
I kind of agree with you. I'm glad you said it, because I was like, it's not the scariest of mass. So like, and first of all, he's a lumberjack. I get he's a lumberjack. He cuts down trees, but I don't know. It's like, really, you could give him just a tree face? Like,
And he's also toting around a cart of pancakes.
Yeah, I
like
know
I
so.
think you might as well just
Those are
why even
big
wear the
fucking
mask? If you're supposed to be
pancakes.
like, you could have done something like just grizzled
guess,
beard,
yeah.
long hair, all scraggy, and like just something other than
Yeah, the mask doesn't make a whole lot of
Tree.
sense.
No.
Well, he is a lumberjack. So,
yeah. But
you
I
The
don't.
lumber.
I didn't care for the mask.
Right.
But anyway, so
So
We're
the girls are
nitpicking now.
dead.
Now
Yeah.
we're nitpicking.
Leon stands up, comes face to face lumberjack. He holds up
This
the
is
bag
so
of
funny.
coke, like
Yeah.
you want
You
some
want
of
it?
this,
Yeah.
and the lumberjack just like smacks it
He
away.
just smacks his hand. It's so funny. Just like whack.
Whack.
I don't want that shit.
And then impales Leon through the bottom of his chin,
That's pretty
There is
good.
through his head, up through the
Through the
top
roof.
of the bus, the roof of the
yeah.
bus.
Lots of blood.
Blood spurting out everywhere. Leon just hanging from the spear that's it's impaled him to the top of the bus.
We see the blood flowing down the floor
Yep.
of the bus, out the back door, right onto his
Onto the
pancakes.
Covering his
pancakes.
pancakes like syrup.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice too, though, that somebody when they cut away and they show like the outside of the bus and they show that there's like the screaming, like Leon is screaming.
Yeah, Leon's screaming.
How is he screaming?
Yeah.
I thought the
He's
same
got-
thing.
He's
Right.
got a spear through his head, through this. I mean,
He's quite dead.
Yeah, I don't know if
it's a cool effect.
I don't want to try. Say, I don't. Maybe if you're something here, you could still scream
I
along your
don't
throat.
know.
But
maybe.
I don't want. I don't want to learn. I don't want to
No,
try.
I don't wanna know
I'd
either.
rather not. But I agree.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
We'll
a
say
little
that
odd,
was
too.
3 kills though. Bam, bam, bam.
Right in a
within
row.
the first like 15 minutes of this
Yeah.
movie.
Oh yeah, or
So
this
that's
is the first
good.
10. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
10.
That's good.
Yeah, so
You
you're
get
off
points.
to a good start.
You get points.
You're getting points.
Mm-hmm.
So we go back to Faith, who's just staring at a pile of animal shit in the stand at the volleyball court. She's joined by Jacqueline, and basically we get a POV of somebody watching them through bushes, and it just turns out to be the fat nerdy kid
Ernie.
Who's kind of
Ernie.
pervy. He has a sketch pad full of naked girls he draws.
Yeah.
She's like,
He's a pretty good artist.
this
though,
is a
actually.
Yeah, would be
medical
a good
condition, Ernie. This is not normal. Huge boobs on these girls.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're
Poor
like
Ernie.
they're drawing like women in comic books, like just
Right.
the,
Yeah.
Real
the
thin
skinny
waist.
waist, big
and-
hips,
yeah.
large boobs. Like they're comic book.
Faith is actually really funny in this movie.
Faith does a good job.
She's
Like,
pretty good, yeah.
She has some good lines. She does it solid. The girl plays her does a solid performance.
Absolutely.
I actually had this note later, but watching I was like, man, she looks kind of familiar. Like she looks like the actress who plays her. I think she's done a few other things, but nothing big. But to
She
me,
looks real familiar to me too. Like I couldn't pinpoint it.
to me, the reason she looks familiar to me is because I realize she's very similar to my younger cousin Claire. Like she looks physically very similar to her, and even kind of like
Well, what's up, Claire?
so, that's where she reminded me of. Now we go back to Stan and Jeff, who are smoking weed in the woods, and they're bickering over something about the '93 Bulls team. And that comes up like he's like, what was it?
They're trying to choose. They're trying to like go after chicks. Like they're trying to like run plays on chicks.
Well,
like what chicks are you gonna go after?
Stan asks Jeff what he thinks about Faith.
Yeah.
And Jeff says, "Oh, she's a prude, dude. I think we have better luck with those two
Those
cheerleader
cheerleaders."
chicks down by the lake." And he's like, "Oh yeah." And Stan's like, "I agree, yeah." And then Jeff's like, "Well, maybe we should run some like '93 Bulls on them or something."
But
which
but
I don't
basically he's like,
understand.
I guess he wants to say, I'm, like, I think, all right,
I'm gonna
I'll
be
be Jordan, you be
Jeff
Pimpin'.
calls Stan the Pippin to his Jordan or something like that.
Right,
so
right.
he said, "You're my wingman, you're my point guy." But then Stan's like, "I'm tired of being Pippin. I don't want to be Pippin anymore. I want to be Jordan." Jeff's, I just like this because it's funny to me.
Yeah.
And Jeff's like, "You're lucky to be Pippin. You could be Luke Longley."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, fuck, they at least give
Take
me
it back.
Rodman or
Take it
something."
back. Take it back.
Take it
Luke
back.
Longo is an important part of that team.
He was an integral part of that team.
He's like, at least let me be Rodman, and then
Yeah.
that's when the axe hits the ground.
Yeah, and we meet
Dude.
Alberto.
Do dudes do that? I mean,
I don't. I've never.
But I did do some digging because I
never
was
needed a
curious.
wingman, Sarah.
There is there are some factual errors in this writing here
Oh.
because
oh.
they're talking about the '93 Bulls is what the team they're referring to.
Uh-huh.
Luke Longley nor Dennis Rodman were on the 1993 championship Bulls
See,
team.
I was thinking when he said Rodman, I was like, wasn't Rodman like 96?
Luke Longley joined the Bulls following the 92-93 year. He joined in 93-94, in which they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Ooh.
Rodman didn't join the Bulls till the 95-96 season.
96? What I say?
So there's some factual errors.
I thought so
in that.
too. I didn't.
They
you
had
know,
no idea we'd be
I will
fact-checking
say
them.
that in the
Yes.
90s, there weren't many people that didn't follow the Bulls because
Yeah,
they were
because-
fucking
That's true.
ridiculous in that era.
I mean, they won like 5-6
Yeah.
championships. I mean,
Right.
they were insane.
I mean,
And
to the point where
Jordan-
Michael Jordan was like, you know what, I'm cool with basketball. I'm going to try baseball. And how'd that work out for him?
Yeah, and then he went.
But he came back.
He came
and
back.
another
It's
champion.
Jordan,
Another
it's
championship
Jordan,
or
whatever.
two.
Anyway, so they're smoking pot. They're rolling up
Sarah's
some
like,
pot.
fuck this, I don't care about this.
Ahem.
Yeah, so we meet Alberto, who's like the camp groundskeeper or
Alberto.
groundskeeper, something like that.
Alberto.
And the boys are shoving horse shit in the stall while Albert is just watching them, and they're smoking his weed, or he's smoking their weed
Yeah.
while they're shoveling shit.
This sucks, man.
And he's even making fun of the weed too. He's like, "This is shit weed, man. Like, this is awful."
Yeah.
But now for some reason, the stable gets completely filled with weed smoke from one joint.
Stanley explains that the weed is actually
Amsterdam albino rhino.
Yeah.
So it's some really good shit.
So he'll be how do you say it?
I don't remember, but
remember
he's
either,
basically he's gonna get really
He's gonna
ripped
get real
in about
fucked up real
I
quick.
2 minutes.
Okay, I get that, but I'm just saying the sheer amount of smoke that fills this place from one joint
Yeah.
is
It's like a smoke machine
insane.
goes off.
You
Yeah.
would have to be just like, constantly.
And it's an
doesn't matter.
outdoor stable. I mean, there's like it's, so.
Maybe
But
that was his perception. Maybe he was just so high that it just. I don't know.
But apparently,
I was trying to
under
let
the
it stretch.
cover of the smoke, the boys managed to, in a matter of seconds, by the way, like 2 or 3 seconds, they make 2 life-size dummies out of manure
Yep,
and
shit
dress
statues.
them in their camp counselor shirts and run out of the stable.
These are so detailed that they have like eye holes and noses.
They look like mannequins.
Yes.
Yeah,
They look
they're-
like
they're
mannequins.
Made out
horse
of horse
shit mannequins.
Now I want to know how much fucking horse shit is in these stables. I mean, was nobody cleaning the stables at all? I mean,
Yeah, who
these
took care of the
horses
horses if
right.
the heck?
The other problem I have with that, now we're talking, I'm going to come back to the shit dummies in a second, but we're talking about the horses, because I had this comment
Shit
later,
dummies.
because they come back to the stables at the end of the movie, but where the fuck are the horses?
Good question.
yeah.
They're shoveling shit.
Good question.
There's no
I don't
horses.
see a horse.
I
So
didn't
I'm
see
like-
one
I mean,
horse.
technically, a lot of times in the stable there'll be a pasture.
Yeah, and they let the horses out to
Right.
pasture to
Right.
they clean the stables, but you never see
Never
any
see a horse,
horses
ever.
which
Yep.
led me to
No.
believe was just crazy Alberto shitting in the stable,
Hey.
and were they clean up his shit?
Hey,
Because what was leaving the shit?
I don't know. I've been on
That's
some
amazing.
construction jobs and seen some Mexican guys shit in some crazy places.
There you go. But so apparently
No comment.
Alberto's
Sorry.
so
No
high
offense. No offense.
that he can't tell the difference between real human beings and shit men.
That must be some really good dope.
That's some
There's
good
That
shit.
is some good
That's
dope.
some good stuff.
So
Well, I mean, let's get into.
yeah, the guys run out to find the girls, and Alberto's sitting in a rocking chair, looking at some picture of a woman. I guess it's his wife or girlfriend or somebody.
Carmencita.
And now we see Lumberjack. He just walks into view, standing behind Alberto. Hearing him, Alberto spins around, but because he's so fucking
stoned.
high,
Yeah, he's so stoned. Yeah.
So
he
high.
doesn't see the Lumberjack Man, but instead he sees the girl from the picture. And god damn it, weed doesn't make you hallucinate. I have never
No.
been that high, or I
course, I've
smoked any
never-
kind of weed that made me hallucinate.
I've
Have you
never
ever
smoked-
Have you ever
yeah.
smoked the
albino rhino, whatever that is, like
We should-
Amsterdam albino. I've never done that.
What we should do, I wish, if I got the name, we
Yeah.
should at least look up, see if that's even a real strain of weed.
That's a good
'Cause
point.
I
We should
don't know.
definitely do
Next time.
But regardless, he just walks up to Lumberjack. He's talking to the Lumberjack like he's the girl, and he even like buries his face
Oh
in the
God!
Lumberjack's
Rubs
hair
the
and starts
hair,
smelling
the
it.
beard. Oh, your hair is so beautiful. Oh,
Yeah. And Lumberjack just grabs him by the throat with one hand, lifts him up off the ground.
He says, "Carmencita, you're much stronger than I remember."
And so he's holding him with one hand, and in the other hand, he grabs Alberto's head and just like rips his head off with
it's
one
off.
hand,
Yeah.
and
There it
just
goes.
tosses the head off just to the side. So there goes
This
Alberto.
Lumberjack Man is no joke.
He is no joke. So Stan and Jeff now they're on their way back. They stop at a cabin and like, oh, whose cabin is this? I don't know. Let's find out. So they look through the window and they spy on Teresa
Get ready.
undressing.
Softcore porn scene
Ex-
number
well,
one.
number one.
It's pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Now we accuse. This goes into slow motion, like this cheese, like
Awesome.
real cheese, like R&B music plays, like some shit you'd hear like in the '90s or
Right.
something, and like
Turn
really
off the
like
lights.
Bad Boys the Men or something like that.
That's a little
That's 70s.
More like
so-
80s.
Yeah, okay.
But yes, and then so Teresa's like stripping down in slow mo. She's got taking her robe off, and she ends up lying on this love seat, grabs a bottle of lotion,
So awesome.
takes the entire pump handle top off.
Technically, first she takes the pump and like
She squirts
She
it all
does,
off
yeah.
and like
That's right.
time
She's-
with the music. It's
Yeah,
like,
she squirts it on her chest.
Squirt.
And then she takes the whole pump handle
And
off
just-
and just
dumps it all over her chest.
squeezes the
Oh, so
entire
phallic.
bottle of
So
lotion onto her
awesome.
chest.
These two boys are just like,
And then she makes like a lotion cross with it.
She sure does.
So I
makes
guess
a
she's
lotion-
not technically masturbating and breaking one of the rules yet, right? Like that's
She's,
not.
she's just
she's
moisturizing her skin.
moisturizing.
Good skincare.
I expected the hand to slip down there, but it never did.
That'd be so much lotion though. My
It's a
God.
lot of lotion.
But Doug catches the two guys spying through the window. They run off as Doug yells after them like 5 marbles. Think about that when you're not having your pizza party. So that's the last time the marbles ever come into play again in this movie. So curious as to what they're looking at, Doug decides to peek through the window,
funny.
sees Teresa naked, and she's starting to get dressed. But this time she sees him. He screams, stumbles backwards, falls off the porch. And so you start seeing now we start seeing some more of this comedic aspects of this movie because
Yeah.
this movie is definitely
A spoof,
kind
like
of a-
parody type.
I want to say
or
it's
is
not
it-
like a scary movie or like one of those wage
No.
movies, but it's definitely more of a comedic.
Yeah.
Has comedic undertones for a
Yeah.
horror movie.
Absolutely.
I'd say it's almost kind of like I relate somewhat to like Zombievers in a way because it's a B movie. We know what they're doing. There's comedy, but it's
God,
score at the same time. We're
Zombievers.
taking it serious, so
Right.
it's a good balance between the two.
Absolutely.
So we cut to this ranger station where we meet Shep, the doofus
Oh my
park
God.
ranger.
He's like a gigantic man child.
He really is.
He's almost like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
He's just
And
Really?
indestructible. But
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
apparently completely invincible and
Well,
undestructible.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
unbreakable.
unbreakable.
And we also meet the hot blonde park ranger, Luann Potts,
Luann
she's
Potts.
all business. She takes her
Yeah.
job super serious.
Uh-huh.
mega bitch.
So
Aw.
Oh, come on.
But she's got Shep to contend
guess-
with. I
I
mean,
guess
she's
if
so.
you're
real
gonna put up with
pissed.
Shep all day
Dude,
long,
if I
you're
were
gonna be
Shep's
pissed.
boss, I'd be
Shep all day,
pissed.
every day. I'd probably be
I'd
pissed
be
off
pissed.
too. Yeah, you're probably right.
So-
Sorry, Luann.
In comes Mattson, or Shirtcliffe. It's easier to say Mattson from here on out.
I just called him the Doc.
Dr.
Doc? That
Peter
makes sense, yeah.
Shirtcliffe.
Shirtcliffe. He enters and he tells them that they have to evacuate the woods immediately. That the woods are haunted to death.
He says, "Them woods are haunted. Them woods are haunted with death."
With death, I thought it was haunted to death. But
With death.
Either way.
Oh
I
no,
would
I
say- I
stopped
would
it and
say-
rewound it twice.
Okay.
I want to say right now that if no other reason to watch this movie is for Michael Madison, because
Oh
just
my
the way he
God.
takes this character and you get that serious face, like
But he's
you gonna
talking
bark all
pure
day,
bullshit.
little dog.
Oh, it's so.
Are you gonna,
so-
Oh,
it's total
God.
bullshit. It's total nonsense.
Everything that comes out
but
of
he
his
does it
face.
so well. It's fucking hilarious.
He really
I mean,
does.
It's ridiculous how good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I will agree with you. Mattson does do a really good job
Goodness
with
gracious.
this. He basically he's kind of like the this movie's version of Dr. Loomis from Halloween.
Right.
He's basically the Dr.
Yeah.
Loomis character.
It's even got the trench coat and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's true.
Potts is
car.
not buying what Mattson's selling, and he tells her, and she tells him that she has a very real problem of 2 missing hikers on her hands, and like she tells Shep, get this guy out of here. Before he can leave, he starts to dump his contents of this manila envelope all over Potts' desk, and it's just dozens of newspaper clippings. And Mattson he goes into like the backstory of like a mass murder committed in Big Timber every 30 years since 1892 on this day. So like on
Right.
this Tuesday of every 30 years.
Before Lent,
the
tying
first
it. Yeah, it's
last Tuesday before Lent, or I think it's the first.
But yeah, the
last
timeline.
Tuesday before
The
Lent.
timeline starts to mess with me, but
Oh, I actually have some
but
big
it
stuff on
doesn't
that later.
matter.
So, still not having it, and she's getting more impatient. She's like, leave or I'm going to arrest you. So, he finally does leave. But then he turns to them and says, you're both going to die. And then he leaves. So, like,
Blood's gonna be all
And
over
before
you.
that,
It's all over
actually,
your
she
hands,
says,
your face, and your shirt.
your
A
shirt.
little bit all over you.
she says, "Dr. Shirt Dick."
yeah, sure
she
did.
gets real
She
funny
says,
there.
I'm not gonna bumble dick around. That was my favorite thing she
Bumble
said.
dick.
I'm college educated. We don't bumble dick around in here. I was like, oh, noted. I am using that.
Bumble
That is happening.
Damn, Sarah took detailed notes.
Dude, I did.
Awesome.
This was too good not to. I mean, it was too
It really, I agree. It really was. Shep, he comes after Mass, and he's like, "Hey, you know what? I'll tell you how to get this camp." And he also says, "Hey, come back and try this new meatloaf recipe."
Right.
All this. And
Yeah,
again,
Shep-
Madison turns to Shep and says,
you don't know what meatloaf
"Meatloaf
is.
is." And then he leaves.
He's like, you want to come back and try some of my meatloaf?
Well, yeah.
I'm like, shit.
Well, yeah, Shep's all distracted, like when he dumps out the
Newspaper clippings.
on the back of one of them. It's like, this meatloaf recipe calls for 2 packets of French onion dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
He's an idiot.
It's like, I'll tell you where the camp is if I can keep this meatloaf recipe.
It's like, deal.
Cool.
You don't know what meatloaf is.
You don't know what meatloaf is. So now
Best lines.
we jump back to Ernie, the nerdy kid, who's walking through the woods with a banana in one hand and an open jar of peanut butter in the other, which is just a weird-ass combination.
I disagree.
I don't know if you've ever eaten some peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
I can't. I've never done that.
Fact.
Don't diss it.
Fact.
Okay.
Elvis Presley's favorite sandwich was peanut butter and banana.
That's right.
That's
I did
true.
hear
That's
that.
Oh.
true.
Boom.
Schooled.
Either way, this.
So yeah,
The more
Yeah.
you know.
he comes across. He comes across Courtney and Kendra stripping down to their bikinis on the lake shore.
Porn scene number 2.
Actually, just be number 3 because you're forgetting the threesome on the bus.
Oh, dang.
So
Damn.
Kendra suggests that they go skinny dipping. So of course, off come the tops.
Yeah.
And this is where I realized, I actually wrote in my
Splash
notes,
fight.
now I understand why Raven Rocket was nominated for Best Boobs.
Mm-hmm.
She has some
She
great
does.
boobs in this movie.
She really
absolutely
does.
does.
She-
Those
and-
weren't fake, right?
No,
those
she's
are
all
real.
natural. I actually
Those are
found an
real.
interview with her because when I was looking this up and talking about her boobs, and she's like, "Yeah, I was nominated." When she's talking about being nominated for the Best Boob Awards, like, yeah, they're all natural, they're big. And she's even like, yeah, for some reason they got a little bit bigger on their own, like a while back. So I'm like,
Nice.
God bless
all
you,
right,
sister.
check and check. Here we
God
go.
bless
The
you.
other girl?
Use it to your
Courtney,
advantage.
yeah.
Oh.
But so
Yeah.
we hear chopping sounds, like you hear like chop, chop, chop are heard.
Well,
Yeah,
first,
what's that
let's talk
sound?
about the effect real quick of like as soon as the tops come off and Ernie's like staring through the trees.
Yeah.
He squeezes his banana. You see the banana fly up in the air.
Yep.
Above him and come down right into his jar of peanut butter.
Yes, it does.
He's like, bah! Ernie's in heaven right now.
Yeah, he is.
There's some really good like CGI,
Absolutely.
type of effects, like animated, computer animated effects in this movie. I thought. Anyway,
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I would absolutely agree.
So yeah, we hear the chop, chop, chop coming behind Ernie,
What's
followed
that
by
sound?
a crack, like crackling noise. Ernie turns around in time to see a tree about to fall on him. He turns to run, but he trips over a giant root, and Ernie's just crushed to death by this falling tree, where he basically becomes like a roll of toothpaste
Yeah.
because the force of the tree crushing him is so
Timber!
great that his brains explode out the top of his head.
All over the pancake.
onto
And
the
the blood
pancakes.
and brains land on the lumberjack's
Good
pancakes.
shot, man. Good shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what kind of like what was it? Geometry would it take to like line that up? Right, like okay,
That's
the
some
trajectory of his
serious-
brain is gonna be here. I have to put my pancakes right here.
That's why this dude is a
Physics,
lumberjack
man.
and he knows exactly where that
He
tree
is
is
a
going to fall.
demon lumberjack.
He
That
is a
counts
demon
for
lumberjack.
something.
The girls get freaked out, right? They're like, they think God's mad at us.
Yeah,
that?
because they hear
God's
the cart
angry
being
at
pulled
us.
away,
Was that thunder?
and they think it's thunder.
Yeah.
And like, oh my God, God must be angry at us for ski dipping. So
Right.
they rush out of the water, put their tops on, and they run off.
I just keep thinking at this point, like, this guy loves pancakes, though. He's eating so many pancakes.
At this point, I remember the first time I watched this movie, like weeks ago when we first started. I was like, "What the fuck is with the pancakes? I don't like. What is going on here?" At this?
I don't know, but they're
But
very
then it
obsessed
comes
with it.
eventually. Yeah, obviously.
I'm
he
looking at
explains
these
it.
over here, and it makes me want to eat them. I don't want to.
So we go back to Faith Jacqueline, and now we meet up with this hippie girl who's a counselor, and they're just walking down this wooded path, and hippies complain how she can't find weed anywhere.
Her name is Stacy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I figured
Stacy.
it out later, but yeah,
Yeah.
for
So
now.
did
Hippie girl.
But you don't know that till later.
No.
They don't say her name here. So, and then out of nowhere, Faith is just tackled by a shirtless Jeff as Stan runs up, and Jacqueline accuses him of being sodomites in the bush, basically having anal sex in the bushes.
You're like, what? No.
She's like, do you know what Jesus says about
Sodomy.
we were Jeff's like checking out a well, and
We were
Stan's
digging
like,
a well.
Oh, yeah, and Stan's like wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling,
Jeff
dude?
looks at wrestling.
So they all laugh it off. The girls head off, and Jess follows the girls to the dining hall, while Stan goes off to find the cheerleaders. Again, those being Kendra and Courtney. So we go to Danielle, who's the alpha bitch of the group,
Oh, God.
and just some dude, some random guy who had just
We've never seen him before.
first time you ever see him.
His name's Trevor.
Yes.
We find, yes.
And they just finished having sex. Like, he's just rolling off of her when the scene, when we keep in. They're on just, on this open blanket, and she's like, hey, go get me a cigarette.
God, she's terrible.
She is awful. And Trevor tells her cigarettes make girls look like prostitutes. But he's like, fuck it, I'll go get you a cigarette anyway. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, I mean, you just got done banging a girl. You're like, yeah, you're going to go get her a cigarette.
Right.
Because she had sex to you. And you're going to want to have sex with her again, so you're going to get the cigarette.
Right.
So he runs off, and
he really
Danielle...
is a pussy. He really is. She calls him a pussy, and she's not wrong.
She is not wrong.
Eh.
Danielle just lies back down as we see the cart being pulled out of frame as she lies down. So Trevor's, we see him walking down this wooded path, and he stops when he comes across the lumberjack's pancake cart sitting in the middle of the path, which the way this scene is shot, this guy reacts as if the cart just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But he would have seen this thing from so far away
Right.
based on where the path is behind
Well,
him.
he was
He's just like,
humming
walking
God
around
Bless
humming.
America.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's humming.
he was.
So, he's really distracted. He just had sex.
He's like, those are some big fucking pancakes.
Yeah.
There's some big. Yeah. Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, he says,
I don't have it written down or anything. What?
And so he's looking at the pancakes, and he just gets
Overachiever.
grabbed by the throat by the Lumberjack Man, and that's like his go-to move. Like, so many people just get grabbed by the throat in this movie.
Yeah.
The sounds of bone cracking are heard as Trevor screams.
Mm-hmm.
So you really don't know what happens. You don't know if it's a neck breaker or he just crushes his head with his palm. You don't know. You hear bones creak.
But Danielle's hearing this too.
She hears the scream.
Yeah.
She hears the scream. So she starts getting dressed a bit. She puts her bra back on, and she's like, stop messing with me, Trevor. Get the fuck out here.
I can see you withering around in the woods there.
She just berates this guy for being a lousy,
she goes on and
for
on,
his lousy sexual performance in a small dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, she's terrible.
Oh God.
Absolutely awful person. And then flying out of the bushes comes Trevor's head. It
right in
hits
the chest.
Danielle right in the tits.
chest.
Lands at her feet. Out comes Lumberjack.
Uh-huh.
She looks up from the head to see him towering over her. Lumberjack just grabs her and begins twisting her and bending her like a pretzel.
It's so awesome.
It is a crazy scene. You hear the bones snapping and
Yeah.
cracking.
Yeah.
And he sets her contorted body on the ground, goes to his cart,
And
grabs
talk
a
about
giant
let's talk about it real quick,
pancake.
right? So she's got like torso up, right? And
She's like in a wheel position.
He's got her arms and legs contorted into a position to where she's like folded backwards.
Yeah.
Right?
Chest up, yeah.
This whole time she's still
Alive.
cussing and yelling at him
Yeah,
and being a
she's-
total fucking bitch.
You can see like the bones sticking out
Yeah.
of her,
Yeah,
like
her
her
hip,
femur.
not even
like
like-
the ball of her hip,
Oh,
like her hip,
God.
like sticking
She's
out. of
not
her
even like, please don't, please stop, nothing. She's like, you fucking asshole, fuck you. She's like still being an uber fucking bitch.
hip. Bitch till she dies.
So Lumberjack Man goes
He
over.
goes back, he goes to his
cart.
grabs
So
a giant
good.
pancake, goes back
First
to Danielle.
First he grabs like a blanket and covers her.
Yeah, he
Just
covers
will
her with a
not
blanket.
shut up.
And then he uses her as a table for like a
table.
millisecond.
Oh,
He
God, it's
covers her with the
awesome.
blanket, puts the
What are you
pancake on her.
doing? Oh my God!
He
Get
puts the
that off of
pancake
me.
on it and then kind of like sizes it up and then he gets all pissed
Then he's
off
like,
when
nope.
it's too fucking short.
Yeah.
And then he picks her up in the blanket and throws her into a fucking tree
Yep.
and that's how she
he
dies.
like balls her up like a little bit of putty and like throws her like boop.
Yeah. Now,
It's a
I want to do a quick throwback, okay?
Okay.
Jason X.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene in Jason X where Jason's back at Camp Crystal Lake and
The sleeping bags.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did that not remind you of the sleeping bag?
A little bit, yeah. It is very
Yeah,
similar to sleeping bag.
Well,
scene.
I mean, he didn't like bang it against the tree or anything.
No.
He like balled her
It
up
was
and
so
like tossed
funny.
her and fucking killed her.
I would have to
I don't
say
know.
this was my second favorite kill because it was like creative, but it was a good effect and it was hilarious.
I definitely
because
would say
there's
this
no
is the
way.
most satisfying kill because Danielle was a bitch, dude.
Yeah, so that, so she
so good.
definitely creative kill.
Boop,
She's dead.
That's a tree.
We joined Faith in the dining hall where she finds another box of JT Jepsum's pancake batter, and she starts making a bowl of pancake batter, and she just starts adding all sorts of like
God.
weird ass
Oh my
shit to it, like hot
Italian.
sauce and mayo
Italian
and
pancakes.
Oh,
As
Add
oregano.
like Italian seasoning
yeah,
and shit
it's
to
just
it.
weird ass shit.
This is a very unneeded scene. Like this scene right
Yeah.
here is so unneeded.
Actually, I
I
have in
kind
my
of agree
notes.
with that.
I have in my notes stupid food fight.
Yeah, we're coming.
know?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's-
comes up. Yeah, Reggie comes in. They chit chat. Jeff also shows up, and that Reggie leaves because he has to go find his barrel of
Of
syrup.
yeah.
Which I put, who buys syrup by the
By the
barrel?
absolutely.
Is insane.
Well, he was gonna make a lot of pancakes, so.
But yeah, so this leads us to the fucking food fight, which we're gonna skim over because it's
stupid.
it's fucking
Like everybody joins
Stupid
in.
filler.
Yeah.
And
Totally
it's like,
unnecessary.
It's
Like
like
all these,
20
like,
minutes.
unseen counselors you've never seen before. Just come in one by one and just start throwing this food fight, and it does last. It's probably this is probably one of the parts where that does drag one of the few, but yeah, it doesn't need to be this
Stupid
long.
kids. That's your food for like the next 3 months. Like,
Yeah,
what would you do?
just
Why are you
wasting
doing?
it all.
Yeah.
And
Oh, everybody has.
so
this thing
once
for pancakes.
that's done, we eventually we
3
go
months.
back to the ranger
I
station.
don't know how long it is. I don't know how long church camp lasts.
Back to the ranger station.
3 months.
3 months. That's the entire. summer.
Pretty sure they said it was a week.
Oh, sorry.
3 months. Okay.
Even so.
It's
Sorry, babe.
a
All right,
semester,
it's all right,
basically.
silly.
Church camp semester. So yeah, Potts sends Shep into town to wrangle up some more help for looking for these missing hikers. And once he leaves, she makes a call to someone to look up info on Madsen, but she hangs up once she hears noises coming from outside. Which at first you think, really, would she really hang up because she just sent Shep outside? So you
Right.
think like, that's just Shep. But no, she's like, oh, I better go check on that.
Because if you see Shep, you would think that he probably would fumble around
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
little bit before.
Why is that idiot
Can that
on the
dude
roof?
even drive a car?
Right.
on the roof.
Should that dude even be driving by himself?
Probably
No, probably not.
You know?
Probably not. No.
But once outside, she exits the building. And there's no one there. She turns to go back inside and bumps right into the Lumberjack Man, who somehow has gotten here now.
Oh my god.
He tosses her off the porch onto the ground, and when you see like the pulled out shot, I mean, he had to throw her like a good 20 to 30 feet.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he launches at her, and she pulls out her handgun and just without
handgun?
hesitation, pulls out her handgun and unloads the entire clip into Lumberjack's chest.
And let's just say real quick, she has like a power up or like a cheat code going on right now because she has unlimited ammo.
Oh my god.
Well,
I
She's holding
counted
a
the
Beretta.
shots.
She's holding a Beretta. All right, so
Well,
it's
it
a
could be-
9
if it's-
millimeter.
Could be a
it's
15 round clip.
Okay.
Over 20 shots the very first time.
The first time?
Yes,
Okay.
I stopped it.
Yeah. She counted.
I counted because I was
I
like,
didn't
"There's
count
no
the first
way."
time, but she unloads the whole clip into him.
It's hilarious.
It's like a 16 rounds, right? 16 rounds.
15, 16 rounds. Yeah,
Over
it depends.
20
There's
shots,
different.
people. Over 20 shots.
And she's just like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you the whole time.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I
it is
mean,
pretty.
yeah.
It's pretty enjoyable.
I
It's
kept
like,
hearing
how many
the corn
shots does she have?
You know what I mean?
Lumberjack falls down, presumably dead. She stands up over his motionless body, looking down at him, and just for good measure,
Unloads like
she
another clip.
unloads a whole nother clip into his
But
body.
you
never
never see her
changes it.
reload. You never
No, I
see her
think-
reload.
No,
you never
do.
see it
She
happen.
does reload.
No,
Does
she does not.
I'm pretty sure she reloads.
No, she does
I don't
not.
think she did. I
Because-
think she just stands up and then she gives
Nope.
him the
Because
look
I
and
think
it's
when he falls down the first time, you see that her gun is empty. Like,
Nope.
so the
No, you don't.
Oh, I don't think
No,
so.
you don't.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I was looking for it too. No, you don't.
Don't. All
Either way,
right.
19 more shots.
She counted those too.
Yes, because it's ridiculous.
So we say 19 and 20. That was
It was the first one was well over 20, which it could have just been editing because they showed it from so many different angles.
true.
So I was like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But then the second one, I was
So
like,
we're looking at least 2 full clips
so
or
good.
mags for those gun nuts out there. And never reloaded. Never.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, maybe
thought
I'll
she
take your
got
word
him.
on it.
You know,
I
she
think
got
we're
him, though.
nitpicking
You know,
though. But whatever.
That's
I
right.
was totally nitpicking, but I couldn't help it.
So yeah, so she goes to pick up the phone, thinking he's dead, and as soon as she gets to the phone, wham! Fucking hatchet thrown into her back.
That was fast. Like, seriously.
So down she goes. She drops to the floor. She tries to crawl away as Lumberjack stalks after her.
He is impervious to bullets.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
impervious.
She's like desperately throwing like anything she get her hands on at him.
Including Shep's cush balls.
Yeah, stretch balls.
It's
Rubber
like,
little fucking squeak
Boing.
toys.
Yeah.
Whatever's gonna keep him occupied as he's at his desk.
Basically, any toy you got was like little things you
Yeah.
say in stupid stores for a quarter. You put it in, they come in
Right.
like little plastic
Why did
ball.
you throw the
Right.
stapler at
the
him?
same
This is-
things that I would give my 3-year-old
Yeah.
to make him entertained.
So this leads her to grab like this small pitcher of syrup on Shep's desk, and she throws it. It breaks on Lumberjack's chest, which immediately starts to burn and sizzle.
No.
Lumberjack roars in pain, and he just takes off. Potts pulls the hatchet out of her back like
she
a
really
champ.
just gonna rip that
Yeah.
out of her back.
I can't imagine what damage,
Wow.
the more damage that
It's
did.
in
Absolutely.
her spine.
It looked like it was like right in her spine.
You would think
Yeah.
that you would. First off, how do you
walking?
do that? How do you get your arms
That
back there when you
lever-
have?
Yeah.
It at least went through a rib. I mean, if
Oh,
it didn't hit the
damn.
spine, it definitely.
How does
Oh,
she
yeah.
not bleed out? Either way.
Yeah, but
Oof.
Yeah.
somehow she pulls that shit out, and then she collapses on the ground.
She's
go-
hardcore.
That is, I know, that's why I said that is a hardcore. Like, you don't fuck with Potts, man. She is
Right.
all business. So we cut to Kendra and Courtney. They're sorting through boxes of props, like the camp theater building or something.
Oh, Lord.
And in comes Stan with a 6-pack of Schmackhoff Peach Breeze wine coolers,
Smack off.
Schmack
which
off.
is, of course, supposed to be Smirnoff Ice,
Right.
trademark. They can't use it.
Ah,
And he tricks the girls into drinking the alcohol with them.
Is that wine?
And this cues party montage of the three of them drinking,
Oh my
dancing, and
God.
getting drunk.
It's
Playing
all of a
dress
sudden
up.
a club, though.
They're playing
Like,
dress up. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like 6 wine coolers.
Uh-huh.
That's it. Like,
I couldn't believe the two. Like they're saying these girls are getting so drunk that they're doing all this. I'm like,
Right.
and there's 3 of them, and that's 2 wine coolers apiece. Like nobody in the history of the world has ever gotten drunk off of 2
Oh,
like
God.
Smirnoff ices. Like it's that's ridiculous.
it's a club. They're chugging and they're dancing. It's awesome.
Yeah, like he must have like a ton more of that because there's parts where like, he's just pouring
Yeah.
stuff
Oh,
over.
yeah.
So he's like
Put it on there.
wasting.
I know
2 of them.
that's I got it right there.
If you're trying to get these girls
Wasteful.
drunk, you're wasting
I
all
know,
the alcohol.
What chicks are cool with that? Like, really, like just
Yeah.
pour the wine
Pour it-
cooler over
yeah.
my
And
head.
like, I don't think that would sting the eyes.
Oh
Like,
my
it's like,
God.
it's not water
But
or
he
shit.
Right.
He is dressed like Jesus. So,
At
and
this
he's like
point, yeah.
spanking them with the 10 Commandments. He breaks like
Yeah,
a.
he breaks one of the 10 Commandments and he
he's
spanks them
spanking
with
them
it.
with it.
Um,
That's pretty
Yeah,
craziness.
'cause-
A sixer. I mean, a sixer of anything, honestly. That's
yeah,
just,
it's
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Shit got out of
that's-
control.
It got real
quick.
fast.
Yeah, he's dressed like
But it was
Jesus. The
awesome.
girls are togas, bedsheet togas. But the montage finally ends. The girls are sitting on the ground.
Montage.
Courtney, she's back in her regular shirt but no pants, while Kendra is topless with her bra on and in shorts. With Jeff standing in front of them, still
Stan.
dressed like Jesus.
Stan.
No.
It's
Is it
Stan,
Stan?
not Jeff.
You're right. It's Stan. I had Jeff written down.
No.
You're right. It's Stan.
It's,
It is
sorry,
Stan.
Not to be technical.
No, you're
Either
totally
way,
right.
the
It's-
guy
it's
that
totally
laughs
Stan.
like Eddie Haskell.
He
like,
asks the girls if they're ready for the second coming.
Yep.
Because he's dressed as Jesus, and he goes to open his robe, and just when he's about to unveil
He
it,
says he's risen. He does say
He's
he's
risen.
risen.
does he say that?
He does say he's
Oh,
I
yeah.
totally
risen.
missed that part.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then, as Chris was about to say, the lumberjack man comes bursting through the
Oh,
fucking wall behind him
damn.
like the Kool-Aid man.
Oh,
Just-
God.
Oh yeah!
All I have to say is that those bitches may be dumb, but they know how to dip out of a
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah,
they were like,
Fuck
run,
you, we're out.
run!
We're out.
They
Yeah,
got
the girl,
out.
exactly. But girls get the fuck out of
They
Dodge.
did not think twice. They were like, peace, gotta go. Like, they
So
didn't
they're
even
running.
look back.
Yeah,
they
they're
were
in their bras and underwears, and they're just running out.
Out.
They're gone.
out.
And
So-
at first I thought Stan was just like, what? Because he says, "What the fuck, man?" You know, like you just
Cock
fucking
block me, dude.
totally fucked up my threesome, dude.
So Lumberjack Man grabs Stan by the face and just smashes his head numerous times against the wall,
Oh, wow.
Repeatedly.
only
Yeah.
stopping after half his face has been turned to mush.
Right.
This was pretty good. I like the different camera angles that they used, like
Yeah.
during this. It like instead of just focusing on his face being bashed, like every few bashes they would switched to a new camera angle, and I thought that like really added some depth to it. I thought that was really good. Yeah. I don't know. I liked it. I liked
thought
that.
it was pretty good.
Good blood spray.
Fuck,
Yeah.
dude. Just bashing it constantly. Just
Gets a bulletin board.
I mean, we've seen these. We've seen
It's a
the
bulletin
we've
board.
seen these kills lots of times before, but but it was done well. It was done really well.
Yeah.
So Kendra and Courtney are running through the woods.
Kendra.
Gets caught in a snare trap and ends up hanging upside down from a tree by her ankle.
Which
She's like begging Courtney, like, help me, Courtney, help me. Courtney's like, I can't. She's like, I'm sorry, I gotta go get
like
Courtney's
even I
out.
felt bad for her because it looked so awkward. Like one
Yeah.
leg was held up, but then the other one's just like
dangling at this weird
like,
angle.
oh god!
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it did not look pleasant.
No.
But Courtney's like, I can't. I have to go get
Courtney's
someone to
like,
help us.
You're on your own, peace.
Yeah, she's
We
like,
keep
I
running.
gotta get some help.
And
gotta
she
go.
literally runs off, literally leaving Kendra hanging.
Again, as stupid as she is, she really assesses the situation correctly.
Absolutely.
Like, there's no way I'm getting you down, so
Gotta go.
gotta go.
So yeah, Kendra tries to free herself. She can't. And then Lumberjack just appears in front of
Oh,
her,
God.
Yeah.
So-
stabs her in the head with
forehead.
a wooden spigot.
like a tap.
Like
Yeah,
a
like a
tapper.
tap.
He
Oh, a
taps
tap
her.
into her forehead. He turns the valve on the spigot, which opens the spout, and her blood just flows out of Kendra.
Onto the
Onto the
giant
pancakes. It's awesome.
Yeah,
that was
it really
pretty
was good.
sweet.
I thought the makeup was good.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
I gotta say, I've never seen that one before.
that
That's
was
the first.
pretty good.
So
That was pretty good.
pretty awesome.
Good
And
fucking pancakes.
so we go back to Courtney running down the wooded road. She turns down a path and gets just cold cocked by a giant fucking pancake to the face, which
Well,
sends her
at first you
flying
don't
to the
know-
ground.
At first, you don't know exactly what it is.
It's like
but she
like
gets
a
fucking-
paddle.
She's just running, and suddenly something's
Whap.
ugh.
Yeah.
She's like, oh fuck.
She sits back up. Her mouth, she's just bloody and bruised around the mouth, but she sees no one. No one's there.
Right.
Which is like, what? Come
Yeah.
on. And she gets back to her feet, takes off running
She's
again.
running again. Oh.
She runs and runs, and again she's hit in the face by another giant pancake.
Oh god.
And just
Oh, this
sends
one's
her
bad.
flying.
That one's a bad one.
Yeah, and when she gets up this time, her whole left side of her face is bloody, black
Yeah.
and blue mess. But right after she gets back up, she's hit again with the pancake.
Jesus.
Courtney collapses to the ground on her back, and her face at this point is just a mess.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's just red mask of blood.
And she's like the sound effects were really good too.
Yeah.
Like she's gasping. Like
She's
it's
gasping
kind of
and coughing.
intense.
Yeah, this is
yeah,
actually
yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lumberjack standing over, holding this giant pancake, and proceeds to just beat Courtney to death
Yeah.
with a giant pancake.
Yeah. And
which this is done in first person point of view, so we see it from Courtney's point of view. So you see this pancake coming
Just
down,
coming down on
and
her.
each time it would come up, you would see like her
More
the,
blood.
Her impression.
the face,
Yeah.
and
Face impressions aren't
And, like,
trying
where her
to-
arms
yeah,
were.
Yeah. Where she's trying to
Oh,
defend
and
herself.
again, the sound effects are intense because you can hear her crying.
Yeah.
And like just the sounds that you would think would sound like when someone's choking
Yeah,
on
like
their.
if I
Oh, God,
choking on their own blood.
it's real,
and,
it's real
doing
like
intense.
no, like if I
stuff.
was to say anything was scary or like this was the one scene where I actually had any kind of emotional kind of
Yeah.
reaction to because oh
Oh,
god, that's
wow.
just brutal. Like
Yeah.
I actually it made me feel bad for Courtney. Like
Yeah.
that's awful.
Awful.
Oh,
Poor
yeah.
girl. Like that's awful.
Can we talk about these pancakes for a second?
Yeah, please, because I was about
What
to
the
go. What the hell
hell
are they made
are
out
they
of?
made of?
If you can
Seriously.
beat somebody to death
How
with
does
one,
this motherfucker even eat these things?
exactly.
Let
Thank
alone, you know, I mean, you dragging that bitch around, it's got to be heavy as fuck if
Yeah.
it's big enough to, like, actually beat somebody to death
Because
with it.
they're supposed to be soft and fluffy.
Right. I
know,
It's
right?
delicious, not rock hard where you can kill somebody
Those
with
are
them.
soft and fluffy. I will stand by my pancakes. There's no way
I
I'm
agree.
beating anybody to death with those.
No.
Whack.
But damn, that son of a bitch ain't fucking around.
Yeah. So we just had death by pancake in this movie.
Oof.
Oh God. So
Is
good.
that a first, too?
That's definitely a first.
Oh, man.
I can't imagine somebody else ever getting death by pancake. So back to Jeff and Faith. They're cleaning themselves off in the kitchen after the food fight. Madison just pops up asking them who's in charge here. And it just leads us to Madison telling the group, of Reggie, Faith, Jeff, Jacqueline, Doug, and Teresa that we need to leave now. You got to go. Dean Logger, blah, blah, blah.
Well, wouldn't the whole crew, like, everybody was gathering together for the pancake dinner, right?
I think they're getting ready for that, but not quite yet. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but there's
Right.
the big pancake dinner comes up later.
He does a big explanation of like the.
Yeah, Doug's like, you know what, you need to leave.
Mhm.
But then that's when Madsen holds up the box of JT Jepson's pancake batter
Right.
and tells him that this box is nothing but a lie.
Yeah.
And this cues our flashback to 1892, which is done in a way where it's a
Hold on.
cartoon.
Yeah, hold on, because this story is fucking cuckoo.
It is. It's done as a cartoon, but it's drawn in syrup, basically.
Yeah.
So it's
Pretty
everything.
much.
It's
Or
like a
blood.
It's syrup.
Is it syrup?
It's definitely
Okay.
syrup.
All right.
And so basically, here's what you need to know from the flashback. Here's what it breaks down. JT Jepson was a hunter, and he was out hunting, and he smelled something delicious. And the smell led him to the cabin of Nehemiah Easterday.
First of all, Nehemiah Easterday.
Easter Day.
These fucking names are crazy in this movie.
Well, Nehemiah is a biblical name. That's from the Bible.
Huh.
So that's the name, the actual proper name of the lumberjack. And who's making pancakes for Sharovtide, which is the name for the last Tuesday before Lent. So I did look
Right.
that up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd never heard of that before.
Is that legit?
That's legit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Easter Day invites Jepson in to join him for the pancakes.
Easter Day. Now that kind of makes.
And Jepson tastes like the best pancakes that he's ever had in his life. These are the best ever. And she's like, hey, Easter Day, you know, why don't you give me that recipe, and in exchange, I'll make you rich because we're going to sell this and make a ton of money. Easter Day refuses, saying it's an old family recipe that he's vowed to take with him to the grave. So, again, which is weird. Like, who takes family recipes to the grave? Unless you're, like, I don't know, KFC or something. I don't get it. Jepson then kills Easterman by hitting him on the back of the head and drowning him in his own syrup, and then takes the recipe and starts selling, becomes like super rich by mass producing this
actually,
pancake.
he found the recipe in
a stuffed ocelot.
Yeah.
He keeps talking about how he looked for the recipe everywhere in the cabin,
Italian low, yeah.
but it was in the stuffed ocelot. He
Yeah.
makes like
Yeah.
a big deal out of this.
Which never, again,
Effing
never,
ocelot.
never comes
Nothing.
back. Nothing ever comes back to the apple.
Well, until he's getting thrown out, and he mentions that he found it in the ass.
Yeah.
In the asshole of a stuffed ocelot.
Don't forget the ocelot.
So, yeah, and this brings us back to the present. Madison finishes telling the story about how Jepson became the pancake king of Texas and somehow funneled millions of dollars to the Nazis.
To the Nazis, yeah.
And eventually died in the arms of a Mexican transvestite.
Right. Which really upsets Faith.
Yeah, Faith
Yeah.
shouts out, "You're a
Faith
liar! He
looks
didn't do
really
any of
upset
that."
this whole time while he's talking. Faith looks really upset. You get the idea that she's just not.
She's
doing
not
it.
happy
She's
about
not
that.
happy about this.
No,
whole
she
thing.
is not.
Mm-hmm.
Madsen continues on this story, and we go back to the syrup cartoon of the lumberjack returning from the grave years later on a Tuesday, pulling behind him the hellish grill stacked high with succulent golden brown pancakes. He stalks through big timber all day, axe in hand, and the next day
Vengeance
came.
in mind.
67 people were dead with only one survivor.
And that survivor was,
I think
I'm pretty sure it was Shirtcliff, don't you think?
don't they allude to that because they show that little animated
Yeah, a little
picture of
kid.
the little kid with the glasses that are the
Glasses, yeah.
same shape as
You know
Shirtcliff?
what? Holy shit! I
They
never.
didn't actually say that.
No,
That's what
maybe I didn't
Yeah.
get that, but I guess.
I mean, they
Possible,
do
'cause-
make it sound like he has some issues and like he's
Yeah.
like obsessed with this for a reason.
It would make.
Yeah.
I guess that could make. I mean, make sense. 'Cause that's the one thing that you never really get answered in this movie. Is like, why
Yeah.
is
Yeah, is he-
Shirtcliffe so obsessed with this guy?
Right.
Like, why has he been following it? Like, there's
That's
no
just what I
there's no
assumed
connection
because
to it.
you know this is the scene we're talking about right there at the end, like where the little kid's like looking behind the tree, and the next day, and like he's got the
Yeah,
glasses
he's
on,
like
going
a
Yeah.
Boy Scout uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was him.
I did.
I
as
didn't.
well.
I didn't even think so, but
I
it
did
would
as
make
well.
sense if it does.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
His bloodthirst is still not quenched, though.
Yep, it
His
is not.
bloodthirst.
He is a thirsty man. So Doug's like cuts. He's like, no, Reggie, get him out of here. So Reggie escorts Madsen out. Faith storms off in anger. Jeff goes after her. On his way out, this is where Madsen goes, remember the ocelot. He found the recipe in the ass of an ocelot. You're all going to end up
You're
in
all
the
gonna end-
ass of an ocelot.
Yeah.
What?
If he finishes
Doug's
his
like,
breakfast,
we don't say ass around here. And Tracy's
And
like, unless we're talking about
Jesus
Or,
or the donkey
the donkey.
Jesus riding one.
or
Jesus.
Jesus
Yeah.
onward.
Right. And they go on to say something like horse apples and
That's just poppycock.
Poppycock, yeah.
Poppycock and horse apples.
I'm skipping ahead a little bit. I've skipped a scene because nothing happens, and it's now nighttime.
Because it's so unneeded. It's
Yeah,
another
it's kind of
unneeded
unneeded.
scene.
Madison's driving down the empty rural roads when Potts comes stumbling out of the woods.
How is she still alive?
Exactly.
how's
this-
this bitch not dead yet?
Yeah, you would think so.
God.
She'd be
For
dead.
real.
Madison stops, helps her out, gets her in the car.
It's so funny what
I
he
have it.
says to her,
Still
too.
not dead.
He goes, did you see him? Oh, I guess you did, didn't
you
you?
saw
Like he's
him. You
mocking
saw
her. Yeah, you saw him.
As he piles her into his fucking smart
Get in
car.
that smart car,
Jesus.
bitch.
And she whispers
She barely
like,
fits.
she
She
mutters,
barely fits.
Yeah,
Syrup.
and she whispers syrup. And suddenly it dawns on him like that never fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
syrup.
syrup.
Oh, yeah. So now he turns the car around and goes back the way he came.
Why is she wandering around, by the way, too? If she woke up in her office,
Yeah.
her phone was right there.
That's a hell of a
The
good point.
911.
I didn't even think of that. Damn, she
What
could-
the fuck?
Right,
I did
right.
not think of that.
Yeah.
I gotta look for that shirt
Oh
dick
my
guy.
God. You're right. And she probably would have had a car there. She had to
And
get to the
she-
radio station on her own.
It's like she crawled out of the woods.
Yeah. Where?
And as soon as they drive away,
here comes Shep.
Shep
comes Shep.
stumbles out of the woods right behind her.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is this dude
he was
doing?
supposed to be
Where
in
was
town.
Shep?
Raising up more people.
Where
So
was Shep?
Absolutely.
why was he in the
This-
woods?
This bothers me so much, this part right here.
Yeah. I agree. Shep coming out of the woods made no sense here whatsoever. It was ridiculous.
Don't forget the soup packets if
Yeah.
you go into town.
Right. This is the one to make this fucking meatloaf.
Yeah.
You don't know meatloaf.
You know what meatloaf is.
Yeah,
So,
you don't know what meatloaf
I
is.
do know meatloaf, all right?
That's true.
Yeah,
he
so
does.
Shep, the car drives away. Shep turns around and he sees, oh, what? There's the pancake cart again.
He's so excited
Totally
about the
excited.
pancakes.
Dude, he's about to dig into these pancakes.
Yeah.
He's like, these are amazing.
Where does this guy get butter this big? Did you see
I
the
know,
pat
the
of butter
butter's
on that?
huge.
Holy crap.
Like the square of butter on those pancakes is like bigger than like a human head.
Yeah.
It looks like an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That's a good point. Where's the butter getting that big from?
I didn't see him out there churning no fucking
Yeah,
butter.
I don't see you turning no butter.
So Shep's about to dig into these pancakes when Lumberjack walks up behind him and just starts hacking Shep to death
Right,
with
you
an
just
axe.
hear
With
it.
an axe.
With
You
an
don't
axe.
see it.
You see blood splattering
Splatter
all
all
over the pancakes.
You see his
You see
hands
Shep's
all over the
hands.
pancakes.
And you see blood splattering all
And
over
you
the
see
pancakes.
the axe come down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that-
that,
right?
and
I
then
got this
it
at
cuts away.
kill number 11
Yeah.
with a question mark.
Yeah. So
Moving on.
we go back to the dining hall where everyone's gathered now for the big pancake dinner. And tray after tray of pancakes are
So
being
great.
produced for everyone. There's Reggie comes out of the kitchen. He's like, hey, everyone, I couldn't find the syrup anywhere, but y'all be okay without it. I'll see you
Everybody's
later.
like, oh, no, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I couldn't find the syrup.
But there's bacon and eggs.
There's sausage.
Yeah.
You don't need no
You
syrup.
don't need no syrup.
Yeah. Yes,
I've
you
never
do.
had pancakes without syrup. It's just not, you can't.
No.
I don't-
Right.
No.
So Jack then leads everyone in a prayer, which gets crazy long and it's
Wait.
ridiculous.
Jacqueline
and-
starts doing the prayer, and she is a little.
I mean-
Another spot where it's well worth watching this movie because it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
what
this
she
prayer.
says.
Yeah, the sweet innocent girl like starts going to like, please save us from being our heads severed off and intestines uses jump rope and blah blah or some
She
weird
starts
shit like
talking
that.
about cock
Cock
ringing.
rings and-
That's some good comedic relief, I think, because
Oh,
Doug's
yeah.
like, "All right, Jacqueline, wrap it up."
Right.
Like,
And at this point, too, then Doug starts wondering, like, where is everybody? Like,
Yeah, he
knows that-
mentions
Oh,
like,
God.
where are those three people at?
where
Like,
are these
it's not
missing
like Ernie-
kids?
It's not like Ernie'd ever miss a meal.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
don't know. There are a few campers missing.
Oh well.
Let's have some
let's eat
pancakes.
pancakes, yeah.
Let's have some pancakes.
So yeah, prayers over. Everyone digs in, starts eating all the food. Doug, who's sitting next to Teresa, he's shown, he reaches out, he grabs a pancake for himself, puts it on his plate. He reaches out to grab another one, but this time instead of a pancake, he grabs a bloody slab of meat that turns out to be Ernie's face,
Yeah.
still wearing the glasses.
It's awesome.
Right.
Which
Glasses are
I get
still
the
on.
gag. It's really funny, but
Yeah.
this is the one effect that looks fucking retarded.
It's stupid.
It's like imagine,
looks
but
really
I
dumb.
love it.
imagine, like the fake vomit.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what it's
You know
like.
what I mean? Like the fake vomit that you throw out there. That's what it looks like, but it's like a face.
Yeah.
It's
with the
Ernie's face.
geeky glasses on and like
He looks very surprised.
he's like, oh, freaking
so
out about
awesome. His reaction is great. I
Yeah,
thought it was
Teresa, Doug, they scream as Lumberjack kicks open the dining hall doors,
so
kicks them so hard the double doors come flying off their hinges and slide across the room.
And this is where I have
Everyone
that,
just freezes.
I have right here. Just then, Lumberjack Man shows up and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
God.
that's exactly what fucking happens right now.
Pretty much.
So good.
Jacqueline stands up for some as Reggie comes back with another tray of Frank pancakes, which he drops
You ready
at the
for
side
some
of
more
the lumberjack.
pancakes?
Jacqueline says, "Jesus fucking Christ!" as a lumberjack grabs a hatchet from his belt or from the cart, throws it, and in slow motion we see the hatchet fly end over end past everyone sitting at the table, like past goes past Faith and past Jeff and everybody.
So you see everyone's reaction. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. And it just embeds itself deep into Jacqueline's face with such force that it knocks her off of her feet as she crashes through a table like she just got a 3D from the Dudley Boys.
Oh, man. That was good.
Damn,
That was good.
Dudley
yeah,
Boys.
Dudley Boys.
Oh, shit.
Nice reference.
Nice.
So now, this is where I put all hell breaks. Chaos ensues.
Oh, my God.
People
And,
are running
can
everywhere
we talk about the
screaming.
Lumberjack Man
Sure.
and his fucking hatchet throwing skills? Because
On
they
point.
are on fucking point.
On
Yeah.
fleek, I think is what the kids are
Oh,
saying
on
nowadays.
fleek.
On
Yeah,
fleek.
it's on fleek.
On fleek?
Yeah, it's
Oh, I
fleek.
see.
Whatever that.
Sorry.
I don't know
I don't
where that
know.
even.
I'm not
Shit.
up.
I'm not up
Kid
yet.
of the-
still
I'm a
on
child of the
point.
90s.
Fleek doesn't even sound like it's.
Sorry, I'm
I
on
don't know.
point still. Either
I'm on
way, because
point.
Luann got one in the back, Jacqueline got one right in the fucking
Yeah,
forehead.
man, he's
is
a dead eye
on
with those
that.
hatchets. The only person who's not running everywhere is this long-haired, bearded guy counselor who just sits there. He's like, he doesn't. He's like, Lumberjack walks up to him. He stands up. He's looking at Lumberjack. Lumberjack slices this guy's right arm off, then slices off his left, and then finally the Lumberjack slices off the guy's head, which goes flying across the room. Reggie is able to shepherd Faith and Jeff into the back kitchen. Doug manages to also escape into the kitchen, and they lock the door behind him, leaving the rest to get horribly and brutally slaughtered.
Oh, my God. Why doesn't
Reggie's
anyone else
Reggie's
run towards the kitchen
help,
either?
Go
Like,
help them motherfuckers.
we got to help everybody. Doug's
Doug's
like,
no one's
no,
coming through that door.
not even Jesus Christ himself.
Yeah.
At this point, it does get kind of hard to keep up all the chaos because again, this is kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of seeing like that poltergeist scene where just everybody's just getting killed left and right. Lumberjack's just axing people all over the place.
Actually, I have a bunch of no names die.
Yeah, all the extras. The
Which
power
is needed.
gets,
It's needed.
It is needed. The power gets cut off. It gets a blackout because he throws
He
one
throws
of
a
the camper
body.
One dude,
Yeah.
into the circuit box, which cuts the power. Now, actually, I wanted to hear something. You said that why didn't more people run to the kitchen? Which I thought the same thing. Why aren't more people running to the kitchen? Okay, even if they don't and the door's locked, okay, fine. Why did people just run out? He kicked the doors off the hinges.
Absolutely.
They're not locked in there anymore.
There's a
You can
Wait,
run
you
out.
door.
see them.
You
You
can
see all
easily
these other
run
doors
through.
too, and there's people at the doors, like banging on the doors.
Yeah.
I'm like, did he walk around and lock all the doors from outside?
Right.
Like,
But I'm just saying,
What is
he
that?
just kicked. There's no.
Yeah.
They're off the
Run
hinges.
around.
Right.
Go
Run
run out
around.
There's
that
a
door.
good 8x8 opening.
Yeah.
You could run through.
chaos.
But
on,
so apparently,
chaos.
I guess we're supposed to take away that he kills everybody in this dino, that nobody
Yeah.
survives.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, we got to talk about trees.
that's coming up right. Reggie, I think we kind of mentioned Reggie's arguing with Doug, like, you got to help him. Doug's like, fuck you, I'm not opening the door.
Doug pulls out a multi-purpose tool and
Yeah,
threatens them.
he's like,
It's a
the
multi-purpose
pliers.
tool.
A
Yeah.
mini Leatherman. I'm
Yeah.
not talking like a full-blown Leatherman. I'm talking like a mini Leatherman.
And it doesn't even have the
Yeah.
knife side. It's like the
No,
pliers or
it's the-
something like
But
that.
he ends up bringing the knife out.
Does he?
But again, the knife is like 2 inches long. So fuck you, Doug. I'd have kicked you in the face by now. Should have thrown you out there to the fucking wolves.
But yeah, here
Doug gets
you were
his.
just mentioned to Teresa. This is where she's in there banging on the kitchen, like, Doug,
Doug,
let me in.
Yeah.
She's begging, crying. Lumberjack just walks up behind her, punches through her body.
Is that what it
happens?
is?
Yes, he
We couldn't
punches
figure it out.
through her body,
Okay.
killing her. At the same time, the gay Asian counselor.
We haven't
wait.
talked about
We haven't
yet.
talked about it because really,
Yeah.
you see him on the bus, and then he's in the food
Yeah,
fight.
there was a couple
He's
and
like
that's
a
about it.
There was a
stereotypically
funny
gay
scene-
character
there was a pretty
too.
funny scene on the bus, but we glossed
Where they,
over it.
yeah, they
Yeah.
talk
Really
about
not.
like there's nothing gay about this church camp,
Yeah.
everyone, and like he's like, "Meh."
Yeah,
Like,
and they showed
Well, actually, Stanley's like, that's fucking gay when he's talking about the pizza party, and then the gay guy comes up and slaps him in the back of the head.
oh yeah,
And then Doug's like, "There's nothing gay or homosexual here." And like Jeff kind of turns and looks at the gay guy. Right?
He's
Yeah.
a stereotypical
just-
Asian gay
either
guy.
way,
I just
It's
get
Either
because
way,
he's
at
only
this
there-
point in the movie, this Asian guy's like, "Fuck you, motherfucker!"
Yeah, he picks
He's
up a
got, like, this
knife.
fucking butcher knife, and he starts running at the lumberjack.
And
man.
I'm
thinking,
going to say running in air quotes because again, he's
Right.
the gay stereotype, so he's
Yeah.
like more like
but
frolicking.
I'm thinking,
towards-
hey, he's like stepping up. He's gonna take on the lumberjack man. Right?
Yes. And this is where we actually see what happened to Teresa. Because the lumberjack man has punched both hands through Teresa's
back.
boob,
Yeah,
through her
okay,
back,
that makes
out
sense.
her boobs, with his arm still sticking out through his body.
This is the
He
best.
opens his palms, and we see he's holding Teresa's breast implants, one in each hand. And he turns to the face of the gay guy, still with his arms through Teresa, throws the breast implants, and he bounces them off of his pancakes, which then smack the gay Asian guy in the head. Again, so much force that it knocks him down.
He lands on his back.
When he in
This
the
guy's
fall,
playing
he
bags.
throw-
He's been playing
the knife
bags
goes
lately.
in the air.
Yes.
And it comes down and hits him right in the fucking jugular.
Yeah, right in the throat. There goes the gay Asian. Or the
Death
Gaysian,
by
I guess.
association. The Gaysian.
Asian.
Can we just say Lumberjack Man and his fucking... You were
He
saying
has
earlier,
some
the
serious-
geometry.
yeah,
the
he's got
geometry,
some
the
serious
fucking
hand-eye
angles and the
coordination,
fucking
this guy.
boom, boom, boom.
He's a physics.
First
He's a
of all,
physics novel.
I'm not so sure about Teresa and her breast implants. I mean, they weren't that impressive.
Yeah, I mean, when we see her
Nah,
naked, you
I-
tell they were natural breasts when we
Right.
see her naked, and they're not that big to have the implants in them.
Yeah.
It didn't. I get the gag you're going for, but they
I get
needed
the
to do it with a
gag,
girl
yeah.
that had bigger boobs.
I don't know, but
right.
It would have
yeah.
worked better for Kendra.
Right.
Though she had bigger boobs
Yeah.
than
Or Courtney.
Teresa. Courtney had a
No,
smart
Courtney
one.
was the other.
Oh, you're right. You're
Cheerleader,
right.
yeah.
Courtney
You're
was the
right,
blonde cheerleader.
She got beat with a pancake. Remember?
Yeah.
She went down.
So now at this point, the lumberjack turns his attention on the kitchen door. He starts pounding on it, trying to break it down. Doug scurries away, leaving Reggie, Jeff, and Faith behind, who very quickly follow Doug as well out the back.
Right.
But for some reason, in like the 3-second gap between Doug leaving and this room, they get separated, and they're suddenly trapped on the loading bay doors as Lumberjack enters the room with a spear in hand. Reggie unlocks the bay door. They're able to raise it up. Jeff holds on to Jeff's going to hold the door up while Reggie and Faith run out and runs out. Faith turns to Jeff and says, "Come on, let's go." And Jeff's like, "No, go." He's like,
This is so
"Drop the door, let's go."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
no,
just
just run.
He could have ran out with her. It wasn't
Right.
like 50
Yeah.
people were following him.
No, he just
Like, they
again,
could have
it's-
ran out together.
This is supposed to be again like a comedic thing, or I guess
I
making,
think so.
making fun of the situations like this.
Absolutely.
Because she's like, just let go of the door.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
let
no,
go.
just
Just
run.
let
I
go."
got it. Go.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, what do you? Yeah. So it goes on a little bit, and then eventually, he gets impaled through the chest with the lumberjack spear,
A spear.
and he gets yanked backwards
Back
into
in,
the darkness as the garage door or the loading bay door
yeah.
falls.
Mhm.
So
And
there
that's
goes
it.
Jeff.
That's it.
Uh,
Poor Jeff. He didn't even get laid.
No, he didn't.
By my count, we're up to kill number 18.
Good lordy.
Right.
There's a lot of kills in this
Wow,
movie.
wow.
So
Who are you
worth it.
teasing about
Well worth your time.
specificity over here? Who are you teasing?
So Reggie and Faith run off, and they come across Stacy. This is where I finally forgot where we learned
Oh,
Stacy.
yeah.
is a
They're
hippie
running
girl.
through the woods.
Absolutely. Me too.
And
They're
she's
freaking out.
She's sitting like motionless on like a bench.
Uh-huh.
Reggie,
Why is she so still?
And
Why is she sitting still?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
That's basically what it is. And Reggie reaches out to touch her shoulder, and as soon as he touches her, her torso just
Aw.
slides apart,
Falls into
like
pieces.
she's been
So
sliced
good.
diagonally
Pieces.
across the chest.
Oh, it's so
And
good.
it looks like a fatality from a Mortal Kombat game.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you definitely would have seen it in a Mortal Kombat game.
You see like the CGI squirt of blood, like
Yeah, and
Like, out of her when
pieces
she's-
of her fall apart.
oh, it's so great.
It also reminded me of everybody who saw the original Resident Evil movie, the black guy who gets like killed by
The
that laser
lasers?
grid.
The laser
Who-
grid,
He guys
yeah,
stand there
yeah,
for a minute, and then he just kind of
Yep.
falls into pieces.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that.
Absolutely.
Lumberjack comes up and just kicks the remaining bloody stump of Stacy off the bench and just stares down Reggie and Faith.
What?
What? Who then run away and hide in the stables.
oh
Yeah.
And this is where I first had my rant about where the fuck the horse is, but yeah.
The stables. And then Reggie's like,
excuse me,
they're
everyone.
hiding, but he's like, obviously sticking his neck way out, like trying to see if old boy's coming.
Yeah, they're not hiding very well.
No, they're not.
For being like, chased by a
Absolutely.
crazy demon logger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
They do
No.
arm themselves with a few weapons or from tools they find in
Yeah. And
the
can we
stables.
talk about what Reggie
Oh,
grabs?
geez,
Yeah,
Louise. I have a serious problem with this.
I have a major problem with it too. They arm up and they think the Lumberjack Man's out there. They run out, but it turned out to be Madsen. And so like, hey, all right, let's get out of here. Let's go. And Madsen's like, no. We have to stay and kill him now, even though the last time we saw you, you just told us we had to get the fuck out of here. Now you're telling
you
us
were
we have
giving
to
us
stay.
a
Right,
speech
right.
about leaving and living. He's like, now
Yeah.
what?
This is where
Too late.
Madsen pulls out a syrup packet, like one of those like tear open things you get like
Yeah.
a
Like you get
fast
at
food
McDonald's.
He says
what
something
the
like, this is the sword.
sword that will slay the beast.
Right.
What a
Doug
dick.
pops up, kind of whisper yelling. He's like,
Uh-huh.
"Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to hide over here, guys. I'm trying to hide. There's a psycho killer." Blah, 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 blah. He's-
Oh,
Not
wow,
very
that was
Christ.
almost
That was
exactly-
good.
Yeah.
He's not very Christ-like. I mean,
No.
like Doug, he's
Not at
not
this
very.
point.
No.
And so after some more ranting, Doug
Christ went right
scurries
out the window.
off. He scurries off again. And we follow Doug as he runs through the woods, and we hear a slicing sound, and Doug comes to an abrupt stop, and the camera switches to an over-the-shoulder view, and we see Doug's legs
Still
running
running.
Oh,
away
this was
as
so
blood
beautiful.
spurts out from the top of the torso, top of him, and they eventually collapse to the ground. And then the camera follows Doug's gaze down to reveal Doug's upper half sitting on this old, like, massive, old-fashioned two-man cross-cut saw
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
tied
That's
up
good,
between
yeah.
two
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah.
Which we saw in the opening scene.
Did
We
we?
see that in the
We
very
do
opening
see
scene.
that,
He
yeah.
like
Okay.
gathers it. It's like so we know that this is one of his.
I missed that
weapons,
one then.
but-
That's
Right.
cool. The only my problem with that is, like, you see, I mean, it's kind of a cool effect, but why? It's like, what, 3 feet, 4 feet long?
Yeah,
maybe?
but it's probably.
But I mean, why
It's
would
not wide enough.
I don't know.
for-
like? It makes no sense for Doug to run right between those two trees.
I don't
and
know, but
that-
it's hilarious.
yeah.
Like,
It
I
is-
would get if it's
it's
fishing.
foggy
like,
out
why
there.
I
I
can't
think
see.
it was a perfect end for Doug.
It was Doug died.
Only because
I-
it was so. It was
What would
so
have made it
comedic
better? What would have
and
made it better is if the Lumberjack Man had put the pancakes right,
under
that.
Doug and like let
That
it.
would have been cooler.
Oh, he wheeled the
that
car
didn't
underneath.
have it. Yeah.
That would have been good. So we go back to Reggie, who's trying to convince Face to leave, while Madsen's like, "Don't worry, leave it to me and my syrup. I got this."
He's
So-
like, what? What are you gonna take like that itty bitty teeny pack of syrup and?
No, what's
So Faith goes to the barn or the stable, and she grabs a
Yeah.
flashlight, and on the way out, she spots a giant fucking concrete saw,
Yeah.
which she takes with her.
That's probably about weighs as much as she does.
Yeah,
She's a
it's
little bit
huge.
overzealous about this whole like let's kill this guy
Oh,
kind of a thing.
she flips that light gun, and she goes in like straight up like
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger commando
Oh
mode
my
right now.
Do it.
God.
Let's do it.
But so like when they're in the barn and they have a choice of weapons, like before,
Yeah.
she grabs a spear. Reggie could grab an axe off the wall,
Yeah.
but instead,
There was,
what
like-
does he grab?
There was like a pickaxe
Yeah.
and like
There's all kinds
all
of
sorts
shit.
of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
And he picks
Yeah.
like a wrench.
He grabs a wrench,
Fucking pipe wrench.
a
Yeah, big
fucking
pipe wrench.
pipe
Like, are you
wrench,
serious
people.
right now?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, really, of all things,
Right.
why not the
What?
pickaxe or something?
Right.
But I just like
So he
why
has a wrench and she has a cement saw.
a fucking cement saw that's like half the size she is.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why this would even be at a church camp in the first place.
That's a good question.
in a stable. Like,
Yeah.
They're doing some construction.
So
site.
so she
Fucker-
comes
I mean,
out.
this fucker's even got wheels on it to where you can roll it.
She's picking it up. She's tough.
She comes out all gung ho, saying, "Let's do this," and just walks off like into by herself. She's like, "All right, let's do it."
Right.
Just assuming everybody else is gonna follow her.
Well, and also assuming that this thing works.
Yeah,
She grabs it, thinking that
doesn't check it for gas or anything, just
Nothing.
assuming it's gonna work.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's smart.
And at this point, Reggie and Madison start having like this fun like argument about Madison's smart car,
Yes.
which at first like really, but It's actually pretty well done
It's
and kind
really
of funny.
good.
Why don't we
It's
just
good.
take your car? Well, there's somebody in there. I'm trying to help somebody.
It's a smart car. Like,
Of
why
Of
is
course,
it called
you
a
can't
smart
take
car?
that
What's smart about it?
stupid smart car.
Yeah.
Fucking smart car.
Yeah, why do they even call him that? It's like, why'd you even buy
Why
it,
would you even
motherfucker?
buy it?
Smart car, yeah.
It's like basically
really good
Reggie.
interchange, yeah.
Reggie's just saying what I've been thinking the whole movie
Right.
about this
Absolutely.
stupid car.
Thank you, Sarah, because absolutely.
And I'm an
As
environmentalist.
soon as I saw Mr. Blonde step out of a fucking smart car, I was like, what?
He's asking the
Seriously?
questions I've wanted to ask
Fuck.
this whole time.
Reggie asks the tough questions. So Faith is by herself in the woods. Her flashlight goes out, but that's okay because she somehow has managed to find the lumberjack's old cabin, which
Good luck.
miraculously is
Man,
still
that's
standing
good luck.
after 123 years.
Well,
Now, here's where I want to go into some math, which I don't know if you wanted to talk about this or not. But, okay, assuming that this movie takes place in the year 2015, the year it was made, that means the lumberjack death was 123 years ago. He would have risen from the grave for the first time in 1922, 30 years after he was dead,
Okay.
and every 30 years after that. So 1952, 1982, 2012. So that means the movie either has to take place in 2012 or 2042, or the whole mythos of this movie is fucking wrong.
I would
They
say
didn't
that.
get- that's wrong.
I would
Well,
vote for that.
I would go with 2012, but it's also, they keep talking about summer camp when it's supposed to be right around
Lent.
Yeah,
Lent
right?
is like
So the Tuesday
March.
before Lent. Yeah. So why? It's also like a spring break. Well, spring break doesn't happen in March, right? I mean, the whole timeline of this movie
Yeah.
is
It's really
fucked
weird,
up.
yeah.
It's way fucked up.
But again, does it matter? Honestly,
Not
I
really.
mean, not really.
Not really.
We're asking
I
silly
mean, in
questions,
the end,
people.
No, but and
So-
also I think that there's probably some sort of a satanic deal going on there. I want to go back to like the ram.
The
Ram
ram's
head.
head.
You
and
know,
all
what I mean?
that.
Isn't that like a symbol of like?
like a goat head or something. Yeah, but I didn't know if it was a goat or it was just I don't remember that. I thought it was like just a
And I mean,
a deer
obviously-
skull like that one there or something like
That
that.
wasn't a deer skull. It was definitely a ram.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also,
In the
I mean,
cabin.
the lumberjack man comes out of the furnace.
Well, give that one
In
away.
the-
Yeah, but yeah,
Oh,
you
sorry.
got, I was going to talk about that. That's fucking weird too,
He
by
comes
the way.
out of. I mean, that's how he comes out in the beginning. That's how we find him. That's how
You're
he-
not sure, but you kind of like assume that because like
Right.
the furnace kind of starts up and then all of a sudden he's like there.
See, I didn't even think that at the beginning. I thought the furnace they were showing the furnace on like it was just warm, just there, and then
Like
he
it
was
just started.
like, yeah.
Sorry.
I didn't realize.
Sorry
I
for
didn't
the
think
spoiler.
about that one.
Sorry for the spoiler.
Oh, it's all right. So anyway, Reggie catches up to Faith outside the cabin, and the two of them head inside, where they find the pancake cart is now in there, and it's still smoking. Like it's just and the old stove / oven begins to hiss as steam bellows out. The door
He
bursts
ate his
open.
breakfast. He ate all the pancakes.
Steam
He ate them all.
fills the entire cabin, and as it dissipates, we see the lumberjack man stand up. So again, I'm like, I got like, was he?
Right.
He's in the fucking stove somehow.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, that's
what-
where I
Well,
kind of
he-
got
the-
it.
like
The
what's
doc
happening?
the doc keeps saying like this is like basically like alluding to like that's like a portal of hell. Like he keeps saying things like this is like hell. There's nothing godly about this place. Or,
Again,
like-
if, for no other reason to watch this movie, Michael Madsen.
yeah.
See, I didn't put that together like a portal. I just like, why is he coming out of the furnace? I didn't get that.
The
I, like, it's
fiery
so
furnace
weird.
of hell. Huh?
Like I
Huh?
would, yeah,
Huh?
but
Stretch?
he wasn't.
Huh?
It doesn't make sense to me because he
Yeah,
was
I know.
killed. Technically, supposedly, he was an innocent man who was killed by J.T. Jepson a long time ago and
So why-
drowned in syrup. It would make more sense if he rose from a vat of syrup than coming out of a furnace.
Oh, that would have been cooler.
And why was he? Would he be in hell if he was? If he was the one murdered, unless he was like a crazy child-killing lumberjack murderer that we just didn't know about.
He was a recluse.
Obviously, he was the innocent victim,
Yeah.
but and also somehow syrup is his kryptonite.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he's the bad guy.
Yeah. It's really.
He seems justified for fucking killing.
Yeah,
him.
everybody's really pissed off at
But-
this guy, but yeah, he's the one that got murdered.
Yeah. He is
By that
justifiably
dick, like-
pissed off at Jepson.
Maybe it's the comedy aspect too, like trying to flip the.
Eh,
I don't
whatever.
know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Because
Faith.
Faith, Go on.
Faith gives Reggie the concrete saw, and he attempts to rev it up.
So now you want to trade? He's all like, "Trade me."
Yeah.
Now you want to trade?
Right.
Like what?
And this dumb little fucking idiot tries to start it up.
Which Lumberjack just walks right up, takes it from Reggie, and throws it out the window.
Literally.
Yeah, just
throws it
out
right out
the
the window.
He's like, "Okay,
Reggie,
where is the syrup?"
Gimme.
yeah, give me back the wrench.
Gimme. He takes the wrench, tries to take one swing at the fucking Lumberjack Man.
Lumberjack
Grabs his hand.
catches his arm mid-swing with one hand, then grabs Reggie by the throat with the other hand and tosses him aside.
Where's the syrup?
And he lunges at Faith, who dodges out of the way.
He takes the wrench and, like, jingles it at Faith.
And throws it out the
Throws
window.
it right out the window.
Yeah, throws that out the window, too.
Tease.
Faith
Yeah, right.
tries to wake Reggie. I was like, get up, get up, get up. Shep comes running
Shep.
in, yelling, "Hey, guys, I made it. I'm here to help."
Wait a minute.
Time out. What?
I was
Time
like,
the
"What?
fuck out.
Is this the
Because
same?"
Lumberjack Man
He
took
says,
an
"I did
axe.
it."
An axe to him.
Took
Yeah.
an axe.
We heard multiple slicing
Yes.
sounds.
Yes.
We heard gargles of blood. We saw blood splashing everywhere. Now fucking Shep is showing up.
Dumb.
What the fuck?
So
is
did they do
going
that on purpose, or did they have like two storylines that they were going with, and they just
I don't
Got
know.
confused.
Yeah.
Was this? Yeah.
I don't know, because he's not even bloody when he comes back in. He's like,
No,
perfectly
he's
good.
kind of
Well,
he's kind of beat up. He's kind of beat up. I think he has
he's
like
like,
a
"I
black
did
eye.
it, guys." Yeah.
I made it. I'm here to help. And he comes right in, and he ends up staying like right next to Lumberjack, and he turns to face him. He's like, "Oh shit!" As the Lumberjack punches through Shep's chest and pulls out Shep's heart. And just for good measure, the Lumberjack shoves the heart down Shep's throat.
Yep.
Shep falls down dead for a second time.
Again.
And I got that.
And they just watch.
Yeah.
They just sit back and they're like,
I actually have that as
that's kinda
kill number
crazy.
21 with
Question
a question.
I have a different kill count than you. We'll have to go over that later.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
Faith goes to hand Reggie the pack of syrup,
"What?"
but the Lumberjack
fuck?
throws a hatchet at her.
No.
Yeah,
He's like, "What about the syrup?" She's like, "Oh yeah, the syrup." And she's like patting herself down, like, "Where the fuck is that syrup? What syrup? Oh yeah. Seriously? You didn't remember that was what
That was your
supposed to kill
sword.
that
That
guy?
was your sword.
Yeah.
That was
That's
gonna
the
kill.
sword.
You deserve it. You deserve what's about to happen to you.
Yeah, so again, the Lumberjack with his
Pound my
fucking
fist at you.
hatchets throws it. It clips her hand, pins her hand to the wall, through like I get a knife through the hand or something like that.
Yep.
But
Cuts
it's
off, like,
only for a
3
moment
fingers.
because her pinky and her ring finger are cut off,
She
which
deserved
allows her to
that.
pull her hand away from the wall.
You deserved it. She deserved that.
She slumps
Should've
down next to
remembered the
Reggie
syrup.
crying. Lumberjack stands over them looking down. He's about to kill when Madsen shows up with his shotgun, shoots Lumberjack several times. Lumberjack is flung backward against the wall, collapses. The three of them leave the cabin.
No, they stand there and talk a little bit for a while. And I'm like,
Yeah,
why
Madison's
the hell
like-
would you talk?
Madison's like, why didn't you use the syrup?
Yeah.
I tried. The
See
syrup
what
didn't
you-
work. First of all, you didn't try, bitch.
Yeah, no.
You didn't open the syrup. You didn't try.
You couldn't even find it in your
I
damn
tried.
shorts.
It didn't work. No, you didn't.
She's a liar.
I was so
We're
pissed
very
about
angry
that
at this
part.
point.
I was
But
so pissed.
We all know he's impervious to bullets. Why are you staying
Right.
there?
Why are you shooting him? Yes.
Get out.
Get the fuck out.
As soon as they get out of the cabin, Lumberjack Man stands up and walks after him.
Of course.
And Madsen, at this point, drops his shotgun, takes the syrup from Faith,
Where is the
walks
syrup?
up to the Lumberjack, holds the packet up in front of this Lumberjack's face while he struggles to tear it open.
It's awesome. It's so awesome.
Can't get the syrup packet open.
Again, why could you? It's like life or death.
Again, Michael Madsen in this movie is fucking on
He
point.
eventually just gives up and flicks the packet at the Lumberjack and
He's
just
like,
bounces off his chest.
He fucking throws it at him.
And then decides he's going to
Fist
box
fight. Yeah,
the
fist
Lumberjack.
fight him, yeah.
He lands a series of punches, which do absolutely dick. Lumberjack looks at him for like a millisecond and then just backhands him, sending him flying to the ground.
Oh, he gets knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, he does. Faith picks up the shotgun, tries to shoot the Lumberjack, but it's empty.
Of course.
So Lumberjack grabs
is
her
so
by
dumb.
the neck and throws her all the way back into the cabin, where she lands with a thud, but in doing so, she pulls the sheet off of a barrel of maple syrup.
That was obviously stolen from the camper.
I would
What
have
did,
to
what did it say? What did it say on the side of
it
the
said,
barrel?
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup, caution, very
Sticky.
sticky.
Yeah.
You could die in this barrel of maple syrup.
She yells out to the others, "Hey, I found the syrup." Matson yells back at her that she has to strip down naked and douse herself in the syrup.
At this point, I
Face
was
that like, why do I have to do that? And Michael Madsen's like, he's making up some bullshit. And basically,
Says,
it's
the
like cotton is the
cotton.
death fabric. It absorbs the syrup, but really, he just wants to see her naked.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
all it boils down to.
She's like, can I leave my underwear on?
Yeah.
Just leave my underwear on.
Back in my brain, I'm like, nope.
It's made of cotton, bitch.
Sorry, baby.
Lumberjack
I get it.
approaches Reggie and Madsen, who are both lying on the ground. He raises his axe, ready to bring it down for a killing blow, when he hears, "Hey, asshole!" shouted out from behind him. He turns around to see Faith standing there in only her underwear, drenched head to toe, covered in maple syrup. Lumberjack ignores her, goes back to kill the other two, but then Faith
right. again
again shouts out, "It's me you want, not them. You sense it, don't you? I'm the great-great-granddaughter of J.T. Jepson."
Of course she is.
I think there was 3 grades there, but whatever.
Of course.
Great. I don't know.
Of course she is.
She is, yeah. That's
well,
why she
again,
got
it
pissed.
explains
That's
why she was
got
so
upset.
pissed.
Yeah.
So
But again,
here,
she's the dick.
She says,
then you're the dick.
She
Like,
says, my family
we made a fortune off you.
you.
Because hearing this, the lumberjack spins around to face her, and she goes and say, "My family made a fortune off your pancake recipe, all because you lack your total lack of business sense, you ignorant backwoods hack."
So again, for some reason, he's the bad guy.
I really feel sorry for this guy all of a sudden.
He has
Damn.
been completely wrong. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. This pisses off the lumberjack, and again, I think rightfully so.
I'd be pissed.
He
I'd be pissed.
roars and charges after her. She stands her ground and grabs onto him as he runs into her. Sizzling sounds are heard as the maple syrup covered body burns him, but he's able to grab her by the neck, pin her to the ground. She's struggling to hold on to him, and while she's being like choked to death, Faith finally goes limp. Lumberjack collapses to the ground next to Faith, but he's burning, he's sizzling, steam and smoke are rising off him as he goes in like these violent convulsions. He's twitching and shaking.
Like a bubbling flesh bag.
Yeah,
Like,
it
it's
really-
just so
Yeah.
nasty.
And he finally stops twitching and shaking, and the red glow of his eyes go out, and
Finally
he dies.
dims. It's like the robot being powered
Yeah,
down.
it's like short,
what
like
was
Johnny
weird.
Five.
That was weird to me. That
Or
was the whole thing.
Terminator eye.
That, like, again, that was the Terminator,
Terminator
eye.
eye.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. It wasn't
Yeah.
that scary because
Right.
So Faith wakes up coughing, gagging. She leaves the cabin where she meets up with Madsen and Reggie. They share some shit, one like, blah, 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 back
and
forth.
she may not have been naked, but she was covered
Yeah.
Maple syrup.
in the syrup.
Yeah.
So at least if she wasn't ever going to take her clothes off, at least she got,
She did not have flap cakes or flat cakes.
No.
was it flat cakes? Yeah, she said something about flat
She
cakes.
she says Debbie has flat cakes.
Yeah, she has a
on the
nice
bus
body.
in the
Yeah,
beginning.
she's a good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Faith had a great body. But they're quickly interrupted because the cabin starts filling with bright light and these noises are heard. And you can see like the silhouette of the lumberjack like in the light being backlit. And he's shaking and violent. He's violently shaking and twitching. And the light grows brighter and brighter. The three of them take off running as the cabin fills with light and it explodes. The cabin fucking explodes.
Right? Yeah.
Because it's a portal to hell.
What?
I don't know. I don't.
So-
Again, I'm on the side of the Lumberjack Man at this point. Like, I'm kind of pissed that everybody's like mad at him because he should be pissed off. He should be mad.
He should be mad, but he did go on like
He
massive,
did kill a bunch of
massive
innocent
murder,
people.
kill innocent people.
Yeah,
I
he kind
guess.
of lost. Yeah, I mean,
He
yeah.
got fucked though.
But so they're both in the wrong there.
That's called the whole thing. off.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
Tomato.
Yeah, right.
So after the explosion, we cut to this truck driving down to the rural road the next morning. Madsen flags down the truck driver with his shotgun, which, by the way, I would not stop for someone along the road who's waving me down with a shotgun.
Nope.
I'd be like,
Pretty sure we're in Texas, aren't we?
we are in
True.
Texas. So
Enough
maybe that's,
said.
enough said there.
Enough said.
The driver stops. Now, I think this is the driver's the store clerk we saw earlier. I think. I'm
I
not
think so,
sure.
I
too.
think so too.
He stops.
The mustache gave it away, maybe, but
He stops, looks at the group, which consists of Madsen holding a shotgun in one hand and holding up Bloody Ranger Potts in the other.
How the
Which
fuck is this
she's
bitch
still
still alive?
alive?
She's still
What?
alive.
Yeah.
Seriously, they had
Good
to
for
punch
her.
her along or something.
Don't mess with that
And
chick, because seriously.
Reggie is staying next to Faith, who's now
Bumble
wearing
dick.
Madsen's trench coat
Right.
and still sticky with syrup.
Yeah.
The driver asks what happened to them. Faith replies, church
Church
camp.
camp.
The driver nods and says, yep, that's what I figured.
Really? Is that what you
That's
figured?
what I figured.
Is that what you
Should've
figured?
figured.
Hop in the back, I'll give you all right.
Yeah.
Madsen puts Potts in the front passenger seat. She apologizes for doubting him, and then he joins the others in the bed of the truck.
I bet she is sorry.
The driver says, I know a good pancake place up the road, to which Faith replies, you don't know what pancakes is. As they drive off, blackout,
You don't know
roll
what
credits.
Pancakes is.
Now, in the credits, the only thing about the credits that I noticed that Lloyd Kaufman is listed under the producer's wish to thank list. So Lloyd Kaufman got a special thanks in this. So
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
I couldn't even read the credits because they were literally so tiny.
They are very,
Oh
very
my
tiny.
God.
They're very small. But let's go into favorite kills.
There can be only one. Favorite kill.
Oh,
man.
God, this was so
right
hard.
into it, huh?
Now, see,
Jesus.
before we even get into this, let's talk about it.
All right.
Excuse me, I have 18 if you count both of Shep's deaths, 17 without Shep, with only one Shep.
All right. I counted both of Shep's deaths. I also counted
didn't
two randos.
Okay, I did not count.
At one point, I put a bunch of no names die.
Yeah, I
And
didn't count those.
I counted the guy that got thrown into the
electrical
box.
box.
I guess
I also counted
There's a
another
girl who gets
chick
axed.
that gets axed.
Yeah. I didn't see.
So-
I didn't count those because they were crossed over so quickly. So if you
Right,
add those
I
two,
know.
that would be 20. Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
Right. And then both of Shep's. I don't know. I
Okay,
did
you're
put
right.
I did put an asterisk and question marks by both of Shep's. I don't know.
You're
I got up
right.
to
I did
21.
not count like the
Who
dining
knows?
hall massacre because there's so many.
Honestly, Marshall, I was just furiously writing notes, and I'm just like, kill.
So
kill. There's
either
a lot
way,
of kills.
there's
and
a lot of kills,
So many
a
good
lot of good
kills.
kills to choose from.
It
in
was
this
so fun.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
So hard to
So
choose.
this could be one of the rarities where we each have a different favorite kill. So
I think
I would
so.
hope so.
let's go with
Maybe
Sarah.
not, though.
Let's leave with Sarah. You always
Oh,
said your
man.
second favorite kill was, I think, Danielle.
My second favorite kill was definitely Danielle with the table because it was so comedic and just so, just so
So
good. It was
satisfying.
satisfying, but she talked shit until her death. Okay, so the other problem though that I had was that so my favorite kill kind of centers around the whole scene with Courtney and Kendra. It was very hard for me to decide which one is my favorite because whereas Kendra was such a fast kill, and he tapped her. He tapped her.
He tapped that ass, literally.
That brain. He
Oh.
tapped that brain, baby. He tapped it. But then, like, Courtney it was actually like one of the more serious and I think gruesome kills.
Right.
Yeah, it's the most,
Yeah.
to me, it was the most disturbing because I just
Absolutely.
oh God.
Right.
I actually felt that.
I felt that
one.
too. It made me, because of her sound, like the sound effects and the
Her coughing
POV
and
shot,
crying.
the
She-
coffee.
Yeah.
It
That
was
actress, she did a
it was
great job. with
really
that.
good.
Yeah.
For sure.
So it was very, very hard. And typically when I'm on this show, I like to combine two kills into my favorite kill.
Yeah,
so
I've been letting you get
I know.
slide. You guys-
And I was going to do that, but they're too far apart.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Kendra because I have never seen someone get tapped basically. And it was so simple and so good, but you did feel like she got dissed. She got dissed by her best friend. She
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
caught up in a snare, and he straight up like syruped her brain. And I've never seen that before. I thought it was great. So that's my favorite kill.
All right,
Nice.
Chris.
Long explanation.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're
You
welcome.
married me. You know I do this.
I do. I do. I do, and I love you. Shit, man. 21 kills. Choose one. Choose wisely.
There can be only one.
There can be only
There can be only
2 men until 1 man
Well,
leave.
You were going with Highlander, and I was thinking fucking Last Crusade. Choose
Ooh.
wisely. Man, you know what? I'm just gonna go with, because Sarah already well explained the
Sorry. Not sorry.
the one that I was kind of gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Doug's. Actually.
Doug's.
Yeah. Because I thought it was really awesome the way he's just running. He's still running with his clipboard. He's running a whole... And then suddenly
He has that
it goes
clipboard
to the
everywhere with
first
him.
person view, and you see his legs just continue to run. And like he looks down, and he's still there. Now, could he balance on that saw blade? I don't know, but I thought it was really good, and I'm gonna go with that.
All right. So I'm excuse me. I'm right there with Sarah. Like I was torn between Danielle the pretzel, Smash Into Tree is just fun.
God, it was so.
No,
But
I will
at
say
the same
that
time-
was the most satisfying.
Yeah,
kill.
I
Courtney-
thought it was so funny too.
Courtney's is the one that made
I
me feel
laughed.
the most like disturbed. Like, oh god,
Yeah.
that's brutal. But at the same time, it's a fucking pancake she's getting beaten with. She's beaten to
Those
death
are
by a
some-
pancake.
Fucking dense pancakes.
Yeah.
God, what is in those pancakes?
So I think I'm gonna go as much as the Courtney one was the most emotionally moving and disturbing one. I'm gonna go with Danielle and the pretzel tree kill as being my
Nice.
favorite. Kind of like Chris, it's like the most says like
Nice.
that bitch gets it,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
is. It's
Yeah.
original, and so
Well deserved.
so that's gonna be my favorite kill
Also
with
throwback.
Courtney a very close and
Well,
Kendra.
throw back to Jason X. Come on.
But then
Kendra's
the
a good
gauge,
one,
but
too.
then the Gasian too, like the boobs when he bounces the
Oh,
boobs.
tree,
up.
I know that's
Man,
God.
that guy, he's
That
been
one's
playing
real good,
bags
too,
a lot
yeah.
or something. Like the way he just
Fucking A.
ricocheted those things right off of that pancake.
All right, let's go into odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
Let's
Now-
do that because I'm sure there's a bunch of those.
Actually, surprisingly, no.
No?
No, I was very disappointed. Ratings: IMDb gives it a 4.2 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Rotten Tomatoes, no score on the thermometer. There's no
Weird.
score,
Really?
but it
Is
has
it
a
too early?
40% audience score. It's not too early; it's just nobody's
Nobody.
put one on there. Yeah,
Mm.
and Amazon 3 out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now plot keywords. There were only 15.
Really?
Yeah, only 15. Now, I was hoping my original plan was I was hoping Aaron would be here because he would understand this. But I think Chris, you were here the one time we did the let's guess the plot keyword game.
Oh God.
But that was
yeah.
with the movie where there was like over 100. And you're just
Oh
so.
my
Can
God.
And so I was gonna say, there's only 15. So like, I figured if you want to take a guess or something,
yeah,
we'll go and
sure.
we'll see who can get
I
guess the
got
most.
at least 5. that I
So
figured.
all right, let's.
Do you want to go first? Since you're prepared. I can
I'll go
just pull.
first.
Yeah, give me one.
Masturbation.
No, it's not a plot keyword. Sarah, what's your guess?
I'm gonna go panties.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a panties.
Nice.
Chris,
Albino rhino.
not a plot keyword. Fuck, Sarah, you can take.
I'm gonna go skinny dipping.
Oh,
Topless. Damn.
close. It's stripping is the closest thing,
Ah,
but
boo,
it's not really.
not
so.
the same. No.
All right, Chris.
Natty ice pounders.
We didn't talk about that, but that
Nope.
was the thing.
Damn it.
You're getting almost too specific.
Okay, wine cooler.
Nope.
Damn.
Pancakes.
Yeah. What?
Surprisingly, not on the
What?
list. Exactly.
Are you
How is
serious?
pancakes not a plot keyword for this movie?
No, so no word for pancakes like flapjacks.
Nope, nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I'll give you the 15.
Okay,
How
let's do
the
it.
And about
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are basically the same.
Syrup has got to be on there.
After Dark Horror Fest, Axe Murder, Brawl, Camp, Food Fight, Food Fetish, Food Fetish, which is weird because there's
Oh
nobody having a
God,
food
Chris,
fetish.
the vein is popping out of
Yeah.
I'm
Chris's
about
head.
to fucking blow up because that was the worst fucking scene of the movie, and that's the plot keyword. You gotta be
Girl-
fucking shitting me right now.
Girl in Bra and Panties,
Wow.
Park Ranger,
Park Ranger. Okay.
Panties, which Sarah got, Red Panties, Blue
I got a
Panties,
pancake.
and White Panties. So when
Are
in
you
doubt, just start
serious?
guessing colors of
Holy
panties because
shit.
the panty lovers love IMDb. And
You
love
people out
Obviously.
there are not very creative. I mean,
and
sorry,
stripping was
but
the last one.
So they're all about the boobs and the tits and the
So,
ass
like,
and not
Axe.
about the actual movie. Okay.
So
Wrench.
basically, half of them are all bra panties and different colored panties.
I mean, there were a lot of panties.
Fuck you guys.
There
Right,
were.
fuck you guys.
Oh, don't say
How you
that.
not gonna put pancakes? How you not gonna,
Yeah, how you don't put pancakes in this
Huge
movie.
butter.
huge
butter.
butter.
Butter, pancakes, syrup. I mean, any of that stuff.
Syrup.
Shit mannequin.
Shit, man. So trivia. There's
I
really nothing I
should
could
laugh
find.
like a liberated woman over
No,
here. I should
that's-
watch
that's rule
out.
number
Damn
two.
it.
The only trivia I could find was that this was shot near kind of the outskirts of Austin, Texas,
Austin,
and the studio stuff is done at Spiderwood Studios, which is in Austin as well.
Right.
So that's it. Unfortunately, there is no budget information. No, I don't. I sent emails out trying to find
it?
out, but I have never got anything back in time. So
Man, it
sadly,
was.
no budget game this week.
Bummer.
I agree with you. I always look
What
for
were
That's
you
a
gonna
hard guess.
What were we
That's a
gonna
hard guess.
What were we gonna guess, Marshall?
Oh, what I'd probably guess. After Dark's been doing it for a while. I don't know, guys. It's not a big budget, but it's not a small. But part of me wants to say $5 million. The other part would be like $1.5 million. Somewhere.
I was going
But probably
either
five.
1.5 or $3 million. Like
Wow.
that's where I could not
Yeah.
decide which one I wanted to
I was
choose.
going up towards like 5.
I'm thinking 5 would be kind of safe because I mean, like I said, the After Dark series has been around for a long
actually, I think I
time.
said 8, but
They've been a long time, and their movies are.
Yeah.
well,
They
I just
put
felt like-
production value into the movies,
I was
whether they do or
actually-
not. But they
I was
put the
gonna go
production value
5.
into
I was
them.
gonna go 5, but I felt like the effects were
The
really
effects
good.
Were really
Yeah.
The
good.
film was actually
The film
really
quality
good.
was good. Yeah, like I said, the production value probably was good.
And Michael Madison alone, I don't know.
Yeah,
There
his
was-
salary,
yeah.
You know, I felt like 8 was.
It'd be
5,
interesting to
5
find
to
out.
8.
It'd be interesting.
It would be if I could. Maybe they'll get back to me in like a
There's
few days from
anybody
now. I'll
out
find out,
there
but I don't know.
that knows.
We'll let
or
you know,
wants to help
people.
us find
Yeah.
We'll
out.
let you know.
All right, with that, let's go into 5-star reviews.
Is this your guilty pleasure? 5-star reviews.
Shit.
Now I think there were 2 pages of 5-star reviews.
Damn.
Most of them were very bland. There's not much, and normally I try to find one that was a little funny or
Yeah.
something just weird, but there
Right.
wasn't much to work with. So I only wrote down 2. First one from Jane Hafner just simply says bloody, gory, yeah, 5 stars.
Yeah.
And from Stephen Brent Micken, the best flapjack themed horror movie ever made, 5 stars.
Thank you for using the word flapjack.
Mm-hmm.
But since that's no fun, I only had 2. I did look at 1-star reviews, which
Nice.
again, there were an equal amount of those as well.
Oh.
Nice.
I can imagine.
I wrote down 3 of these.
Oh shit.
First one from Finn the Human. It's disgraceful that Amazon markets this thing as a movie. I love campy horror films. I love horror films of the 80s, and I don't mind a bit of nudity. But this
You
piece
don't
of
mind
garbage
it?
is like softcore porno that somehow made it off of Cinemax. Here's what you can expect from this film. 1. No scares. The filmmakers don't know or care enough to direct a scene to create suspension. The Lumberjack Man is underdeveloped and rarely seen. He's like constantly seen in this movie.
Yeah,
right,
totally.
right. And there were
2.
some pretty good fucking kills, and so
Yeah,
2.
this guy has no.
Low body count. This is not a slasher. The cast
What?
of terrible actors run around maniacally hours after a decent horror flick would have dispatched them.
All right, first of all,
What?
I counted 21.
That's
if you
a
want to be
higher
technical, I
body
could
count.
at least do like 18 if you count out.
Yeah. 3.
Minimal.
Terrible, awful, no good, very bad acting. Seriously, while some of the actors are well known in the adult film community, they do not possess the skill required to carry a mainstream movie.
Seriously,
think
because
for
the
a-
actress that played Faith was like point
Well,
on.
great.
but even
Madison
that,
was solid.
even though like
Madison's
it
awesome.
was definitely like some kind of a comedy spoof too.
Right,
so
right.
I thought that the actors were really good, and even though there were scenes that didn't sometimes need to be in there,
Yeah.
the acting,
The acting
was
was-
still
for what
good.
it was fine.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
still
I had
within
no
the-
problem
Some of the
with
shit, some of the
Yeah. Oh,
shit
my
we've
God.
watched before.
I thought
Maybe
the acting
these
was
people
on
don't
point
watch
for
a
what
lot
this
of
movie
shitty
is,
movies.
and
Absolutely.
given the script they
Yeah.
were given.
Absolutely.
Maybe these guys never
Number
watched shitty
4,
movies.
no plot. Did this movie have a writer? Number
Yeah.
5, no jokes. I was fooled because the other reviewers said this movie was hilarious. Please heed my warning. This movie is not funny.
Wow.
It's
I laughed out loud.
It's the anti-funny. Seriously, this
The
movie.
anti-funny.
The anti-funny. Seriously, they should show this movie in prison. 1 star.
Well, you know what,
Wow.
prisoners,
Like there was
you're
one I
welcome.
read-
'Cause here it comes.
You're in for a treat.
Yeah, right.
And all right, moving on to J.S. Drake. It's possible we weren't drunk or high enough to fully appreciate this movie, but it is
Well,
quite
now
possibly
that you
one of the
say
worst
that, I
movies
mean.
I've ever seen. Sorry, Adam. 1 star.
Wow.
And I would think being high or drunk would just make this movie even better. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
love
what?
it,
Yeah.
but it'd be fun.
I don't know.
And then last one from Casey Christensen. Wow, lots of boobs equals okay. A plot that makes no
That's
feasible sense equals bad. Put them together and you have this movie. 1 star.
I would say actually that 8 Films to Die For.
Yeah.
Did a real good review, but didn't you say that was like their deal or whatever?
Huh?
Yeah, the company put that out. Put 8
WickedHorror.com does a real good review. It's actually on point with this movie.
Okay.
But if anybody cares to check it out.
It's way better than these guys.
Yeah, I think we all agree. We all disagree with the
With
those
the
1 star
stars.
guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I'll just make it official. Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Final thoughts, closing statements. One of you wants to go first? Go ahead, take it away.
Well, I'll go first.
Please, ladies first, always.
I thought this movie was actually really, really good. Again, there were some scenes that like really weren't needed, but even so, the acting was pretty good throughout there. It was great kills, great effects. It made me laugh. It was supposed to be funny, and it was funny. There were good boobs. I mean, it had like all of the elements of what you want to see. So,
Yeah.
I
What else?
Yeah,
is there
so
to
bad
say?
so bad it's good.
So bad it's
So
good?
bad it's good. I don't. What can you say?
I'm with you 100%. So bad.
And
it's good.
pancakes. And
And
pancakes.
pancakes.
Pancakes. Fucking pancakes.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a clean sweep. This movie, I also for everything so bad it's good. Do yourself a favor.
Watch it.
this movie.
Yeah.
Watch it.
I know the first time I watched it, I was like, "What the fuck's with the pancakes?" But it makes sense. It plays, and once you understand what it
Yeah.
is they're doing, it
Just
you totally
roll with it. Roll with it.
It makes it even better. It's like it's so silly and ridiculous, but it's so fun and bloody and gory. It's worth the watch. It gets our seal of approval. So we're gonna wrap it up this week. So remember, check out our Facebook page. Check out our website, horriblehorrorpodcast.com. Check us out on Twitter at So Bad It's Scary.
Miss you, Aaron.
We miss you, Aaron.
Okay.
You missed out on a good one.
We're also on Instagram at Horrible Horror Podcast. And you can download and listen to the episodes on Podbean at horriblehorror.podbean.com. iTunes, you can subscribe and listen to us there. And news, if you hadn't seen it on our Facebook page, we are also now available on Google Play through the music. So we have one more venue or avenue for you to check this out.
Just listen. Check it out. We have such a good time.
So that's going to
These
wrap
guys
us
are
up. Again,
hilarious.
thank you for Chris and Sarah for coming back and joining
Of
us. Always a
course.
good
Thanks
time.
for having us, man.
Thank
Glad
you.
we could be here.
All right, everybody. In the meantime, watch more horror movies and always keep it tight.
Ooh.